on the show? Okay, Z, that's it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Just Enough Heshy Show. With no wait, I'm gonna introduce my co-host. We have Z again.
What's up, everybody?
Hello, Z. How
Good to
are
be
you?
here on a Monday. Very special.
Yeah, they can't see your hand movement. Neil's not here at the moment, but
who is he?
he's still our voice of reason.
He's still, even if he's not here, he's our voice.
We could
of reason.
just
True.
pretend we're hearing him all the way from wherever he is screaming at
Okay,
us.
no
So,
problem.
yeah, and of course we have our Uncle Heshy, the main guy of the show.
Yeah!
Thank you very much. And of course, we have to introduce our beautiful, beautiful Esty with the ribbon in her hair.
Yeah, my friend got this for me for my birthday.
Beautiful. It looks very nice. Everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Just Enough Heshy Show. And of course, we're going to start with my quote of the day, which I really wanted to have Neil here for his comments.
I'll do my best Neil impression.
You got
What
it.
the hell are you talking about? We don't need him.
We don't need him to knock me. Thank you very much.
Actually, you're crazy.
Stop with the loving. I got it. I was going to read a different quote, Z, and this one, I at the end of the day, I made it up myself. I stole parts of it from somebody else, but here we go. And this is: we are all soldiers. The true soldier fights not because he hates what is in front of him, because he loves what is behind him. We are all soldiers of the Almighty, and the true believers fight for what's right, and we love what we have and what stands with us and behind us.
You made that up?
I made that up.
You should be on a calendar.
It should be on one of those cards.
I once made up a quote completely by myself.
Oh, go ahead, SD.
Okay, God may not exist, but an imaginary friend is still a friend. So even if God's not there, if you put your problems on him,
It's not going on the calendar.
It's not going on the
I
calendar.
think it's
or
great.
any of our
No,
cards.
this is what you tell atheists.
I made up a quote also. It's called "Two birds in the hand." I'm sorry.
Oh God,
I messed it up.
you messed it up big time. Two birds in the hand, but that's
Right.
okay.
A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush.
Okay.
I made that up myself.
I want you to. We have a lot to
Did you
talk
know
about
that?
tonight. We
Yeah,
have a lot of subjects
going
to
on.
talk about. We
So
have a
much
lot-
craziness in this country. I don't even know where to start.
I don't know where to stop.
The
But
last week is one of the craziest
and we're
weeks I
going to
could
bring that up.
remember.
But I'm sitting
Wow.
in the car and bringing Esty along, and me and Esty always have a couple of discussions on the way over. And one of them was that Esty has a problem getting to the city every day.
What you need to do in the city?
Here comes the.
Wait, no.
Welcome,
I was hearing about a bush.
No, but you missed my quote.
George
No,
Bush.
Was
You
there
can't.
a fire in the bush?
Neil, nobody made fun of my
A
quote
burning
today.
bush.
A burning desire.
Did you hear my impression of you, by the way? I was spot on. Shut up. We don't need to hear your stupid comment.
That sounds about right. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm.
Welcome, our voice of reason. But Neil, we have a lot to talk
I
about.
didn't have to punch your clock. I don't have to fight with you at the end of the
And
week.
I
over
saw you.
this
I saw
subject.
you eating in the car. I didn't want to bother you.
Yeah.
But Neil, my point to you tonight is, first of all, we have a lot to talk about. But Esty was talking.
We always have a lot to
But I
talk
wanna
about.
tell you what
gotta
Esty
But I
told
don't think you should give it out because then by the time I can do it,
But Esty tells me
No.
that she has a great idea.
no, people are gonna steal it. Don't say
No,
it.
Esty wants to be able, instead of, her fake city, the beautiful fake city. So Esty has a new idea how to get to the city. She's going to buy her own railroad car and just drive back and forth to the city by herself on
On
Express.
whose rail?
On the Metro Rail. She's going to pay a lot of money to buy her own
Yeah,
rail.
it'll be very comfortable, but from the outside it'll look regular. And I'm just like, from my stop straight to the city, it's the fastest way. There's no traffic. The train is the fastest way. If it only goes to my spot, I'll be there in 5
And
minutes.
nobody else is going to do this and nobody else.
That's the depressing thing about taking the train or driving.
Right.
'Cause if it was really just from
So this
point
is
A
a
to
brilliant
point
idea,
B,
right?
it would be literally 10 minutes.
Right? So your
Like
own
in
train
another
card
city.
is brilliant.
Well,
Tesla-
not if you had it for everybody.
Right. But to go from Brooklyn to Manhattan
That's
is like
exactly-
8 miles.
Esty's going to buy her own rail.
You know what? I'll rent it out. But no, I'm the first one. I'm going to pay the most. I'm getting that train car.
Okay, there
Okay.
are new laws coming out now with rails.
but-
It's going to
yeah,
hurt
but-
Berkshire
but don't-
half
but-
a little bit. Yeah,
Don't they,
'cause
like the
just a
railroad, they
rail,
keep upping the price because they need money. So
Right,
I'm just
they're
going to,
they're going to
I'm going to pay them a lot.
They're going to up the fare again, I hear,
No.
in the next
It's going to
couple
go
of
up every couple of years just until the end of time. Kind of
I
come
don't
back
know
to
why
New
you
York.
think it's not going.
I'm going to come back
What
in
doesn't go
2050. It'll be $38,000 to cross the Verrazano Bridge to
Right.
take one subway.
But you know
one
what?
subway will be $47.
But you'll get your-
Everyone will be, I'm sick of this crap next time, and they'll still
But
be
you'll
here because
get-
nobody
but
ever
you'll get
gives
your
a crap.
100-inch TV
Right.
for $12.99.
Wow.
Right. But the Verrazano will still be $48,000. That's just the way it is
what's
here.
gonna happen.
Whatever.
So guys, as
But
you
think about it. Okay, a helicopter. That's not faster till you get up there, till you can find a landing pad.
Stop golfing on the mic, okay?
I'm just saying that this is the fastest way.
now,
Ever.
Neil, now before we get to your
Did
famous,
you guys catch the fight on Saturday
so I
night?
was going to talk to you about
Yeah,
that.
I wanna talk
the
about
fight,
it too.
the fight is a stupid
What a
fight,
crock!
but it's not even a crock.
They
What a
scammed
crock.
them.
It sucks.
You
They
stupid,
scammed
you
everyone.
no, but you stupid people
Oh,
paid
you stupid
$300 million
We're
to
the
two
stupid
losers to
people.
fight.
I would personally sit in that ring. What was it, 36 minutes, and let Floyd Mayweather punch me with his
Oh,
little
yeah.
140-pound baby punches
Alright,
for
that
$100 million.
Yeah, but
You would never
For
get
$100
to
million?
use that $100 million
Yeah,
to your pleasure.
One punch
Please.
you out. That's
It's
it.
Yeah,
boxing.
one punch you out, Mike. You know
$100
what?
million.
That guy in the van that was killed because some cop beat him up.
Right.
Okay.
He has boxing gloves
This
on.
guy,
Believe me.
Yes.
I weigh as much as
But
both
you
of
know
them
what he
put
said,
together.
Floyd
Please.
Mayweather? They asked him, they said, are you going to give charity and stuff like that? You
Oh
know what
my
he said?
God, him?
Not only would I never give, I'm going to take $250,000 cash in a bag and I'm going to go give it out on strippers.
Yeah.
Wow.
He literally is such a lowlife, and I was hoping
Not a
Manny
lowlife,
Pacquiao-
he's a clever man.
No, he's just- he's
he's
a
a
low
low
life. He
life.
has
But
nothing to
meanwhile,
himself.
Bill Clinton,
Yeah.
the foundation uses 90% of the money for administrative uses,
No.
Which is probably
1 minute,
strippers.
1 minute, and 2, he makes a big deal because he says, "Hey, I take 10% of my salary that I gave for speeches and I give it to the foundation."
Right.
Meanwhile, he's spending 90% of the foundation's income.
Whatever.
I mean, what
The
a
point is,
scam.
Floyd
What a
Mayweather
Nah,
scam.
it's a
is literally
stupid fight.
he's a woman abuser. You hear he has like 5 domestic violence
Five
cases.
He served
He
2 months
literally-
in jail.
yeah,
he served 2 months in
and
jail
he
for beating
goes to
somebody
sleep
up.
with a big bag of money. He doesn't even know how to read.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
illiterate. He can't even form a complete sentence.
Okay,
and
but
he got a
that's
$200 million
the
paycheck.
crime.
No,
God
that's
bless him.
You're
God
wrong.
bless
You're
him.
wrong. See, that's not the point.
God
The point
bless him.
is that the people of America are supporting something stupid instead
Yeah.
of taking care of the poor and the homeless and so on. And that's my problem. But you know what? I
At
want to
least
get
if it would have been entertaining, fine.
Right.
A heavyweight match where they're knocking
So,
the hell out of each
over-
other.
over
This
the-
was literally little baby punches.
Over
At
the-
the
No, there
36
was
minutes,
one
whatever.
puncher
The
and
judges,
one defense
it was so
play. Yeah,
close.
it
The
was-
judges had to decide at the
Yeah.
end. You know, it
Wasn't
was
so
5 points
close.
apart. Oh,
Whatever.
please.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
like color war being
Right.
so close. You know, they make up the number right.
Exactly. You get 9 points this and you get 10.
Well,
That
you
one
got
you get 10.
7
You got
and
9.
11,
Over
the
the-
bad team.
over the
Please.
weekend.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, my friend Neil comes to my house and drops off a book.
This friend Neil.
Thank you.
You
I
guys
hang
really
out outside of the
appreciate
show?
it.
That's
I don't
awesome.
want to talk about the book.
I have to talk about the book.
Oh, no.
It's a stupid book.
Of course, he's not
Good,
going to
so
say
then I
smart
don't want
book.
to talk about it.
Okay, it's a good book.
Wait, is there
No,
a smart
I still
book?
don't want to talk
Okay,
about
but forget about
Is there a smart book?
You didn't
Is
hear that
anybody-
it came from
yeah.
Neil. Now you can
Such
talk
an
about it.
a-hole.
Why?
You're such a hole.
Because you gave me a
That's
book to
why
inspire
I never
me.
gave it to you. You
Okay,
see,
I'm
that's why it's been sitting with Hesky for a while. It's an inspiration to him.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
The man says straight out in his book he cheated on his wife.
Who?
He has a shut.
Cheated on his wife.
Yeah, he cheated on his
Who
wife.
gives a crap if he cheats on his
Who are we
wife?
talking about?
His wife. That's his wife's problem.
Okay.
We're talking about monetary.
Monetary gains, how he did it,
gains.
and he admits how he bribed, how he did illegal things, and he was proud of that's the way everybody does it, so
Right.
I do it.
Right.
I don't agree with that.
You don't have to.
Everybody does
Which
criminal.
book?
Everybody
We don't know who you're
screws.
talking about.
I can't tell you. Neil
No,
won't let me say. it.
you're talking stupid.
Say-
Next time
say
you
the
don't
name of the
mention it
book,
came
Neil.
from
Say
Neil.
the
The
name.
King of Oil.
The King of Oil. It's about Mark Rich, who recently died.
I don't
So
know what
Mark
that is.
Rich had a chalet, by the way, on a mountain called the Kurvach. Wow. And I made a mistake. I spelled Kurvach wrong. It's C-O-R, but I still use K.
Yeah, we know.
Anyways, the man had a mountain on the a house, a $90 million house, I think. on the- The point is, this man says, yeah, I came to America poor in 1940.
He didn't say he came poor.
He
He,
came poor.
never said he came poor.
Sure he did. The father ran away
The
from,
father ran away,
The
but
father-
he wasn't. They were not poor.
they ran away from some, a mountain city in Felice, whatever, Felice. And then they ran to Belgium, and then Belgium again. They had to run, they got away. They were very smart. They got away like 3 days before. Then they were put on a boat, and the boat got stopped, and they were put into a internment camp. And again, his father made deals with the local pigs, and he got out of it. And he got shipped to America, one of the lucky ones. And again, all bribery and so on, and that's how he made it big time.
Right.
That's not acceptable.
Not acceptable.
Why
Not
not?
acceptable.
Not acceptable.
Why not?
Because the man.
In other words, it's like the guy who was selling cash registers to the bars in New York City, and he was wondering why nobody's buying from him. Finally, some guy says, "Listen here. Every other cash register has a button on it that cancels out a sale. So when we get audited, it minus the sales we want to minus. You never offer that, and that's why people just look at you. They say, okay, well, think about it, and that's it. Okay? If you're not in the game to win, and you don't know how to play the game, you don't know the rules of the game, don't sit on your tuchus and tell everybody else, okay, we got to have rice for supper. That's it. What are we going to do?
You know what? You know, that is like, what you're just telling me now and why I'm upset with you. Esti's telling me in the car, Heshy, there's a story in the paper about a lot of girls are very upset. Esti, tell them about what you told Esti. I want to discuss what you told me in the car. Neil, there was a girl. There are a lot of these young girls. They get married, Neil, and they don't have good relationships with their husbands. So her mother tells Esti,
she just said a quote. I'd rather be alone than alone in a marriage.
Don't ever get married.
That's so not what I said. How are you translating that? It's just rather marry someone who you can be together with, but feeling alone in a marriage where you don't feel like your partner connects with you is worse.
In other words, if you don't have a good marriage, get out.
Not get out. Don't ever get married till you find the perfect
I
life.
didn't hear that. I didn't hear that from her.
No,
That's what she
I
told
just
me.
said until.
That's why when you read books and you hear things from people, we have to question very strongly.
One of Esti's people felt this way.
The air conditioner is on?
No, it's broken.
Oh.
Why do they close the blinds? We're having some fresh air
again.
coming.
And go pay him again.
What I'm saying is no, you should not get married until you find that person. And if you can't find that person, don't rather get married just to make do.
So Esti, so
if you're in a bad marriage,
but wait a minute, it gets better.
Esti.
So what did this one girl do when she didn't want to get married? What did she do with herself? She sold what?
No, but no, it wasn't such a girl. It was just a random girl.
What did she
wanted
do?
to pay for college.
So what did she do?
She sold her virginity for $3 million.
She sold her virginity for $3 million.
You know what?
That's not acceptable.
I wouldn't give 10 cents for someone's virginity.
But the point is, somebody did it, and somebody bought it.
What about mine?
But I'm saying,
Right,
I gotta hear that BS again.
But I would.
There are people who want, sure, or
in
something.
their mind.
Well,
in their mind.
I wouldn't.
They want to know you're fresh.
I actually think she was gay.
You know what, Neil? I wouldn't accept bribery. I wouldn't accept.
I know.
Bribery.
No, think about this.
don't
It's
accept
one day.
I don't accept
Just think about this. It's one day of your life, and you have $3 million.
It's wrong. If
You
somebody,
can't give away one day.
Esti, I have a question for you. If somebody tells you if you go rat on somebody, I will.
That's
pay
way
you $1
different.
million.
That's hurting someone else.
Whoa, don't mix rats with mice, okay?
Okay.
Mice play, rats rat.
Well, some people.
Who is she hurting?
Some people do it. She heard it.
Someone bought it as a present for his son. I think
You
it's
know what?
nice.
She hurt no one.
She heard it. All
And
the
the
fellow.
bar mitzvah boy, I'm sure, is very happy, and that's all. Finish.
She's smart.
Okay?
Yeah, talk about-
That's it.
Anyways, everybody, you are listening to the Just Enough Heshy show with my boy Neil over there talking crazy.
Why? There are people that marry people that they have one or two quirks and they put up with it
Right.
for the simple reason because everything else is great. So what
Right.
the heck?
That's
It's about
And that's the same thing here.
And when you love
The
somebody,
lady
the
who
quirks
put
go
those
away
one
anyway.
day spending
No,
with
it's
a
not
guy
about the
and puts
annoyances.
up,
It's about the connection that you get each other.
connection.
No,
Yeah,
you guys
okay.
didn't get my help. Everything is purchasable. Everybody could be bought.
That's
And
correct.
everybody is what?
Especially Zalmi.
What is Esti? Everybody.
Free.
Esti. Everybody is a
No.
cook. I love
That's
you.
right.
Everyone has
the
their
question
price.
is what price?
What price?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Everyone has their price.
Everybody's
Some
up.
shekel, some lira,
Right.
some this, some that.
That's really great because then if you have money, you can buy people. I think it's
Sure,
brilliant.
correct. You can give them like $1 billion Iraqi dollars right now. You
Esti,
know?
what show?
Brilliant.
What show?
Sorry, I only have a quarter.
You
No,
are-
I can't.
What show is Neil talking on today?
You are listening to the
Oh,
Just
here we
Enough Heshy show.
Again, Esti, slow.
The
A little
Just
slower.
Okay. The Just Enough Heshy show. HESHY. You can find us on Facebook, like our page, Twitter, do hashtag Just Enough Heshy. We're live on YouTube, so you can watch us and see what we look like. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. If you'd like to advertise with us or just shoot us an email, you can email us at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. You can call in at 718-303-9090.
Yeah.
Stop screaming at me
Okay.
right now. Let Esti finish her thing.
No,
You
no,
can
I
scream at me
finished.
on the air.
Work
No, I
now
finished.
Neil is getting angry at me right now.
$180 billion a year in business today.
Oh,
Look at this.
Oh, are
Esty,
you out of your mind?
Esty,
What did you create
I'll tell you what.
that have jobs that people can make millions of dollars every year?
You see,
and live like
that's your problem. Eh,
No, your
You
problem
need
is
to-
you think
you
peanut
need
butter
people
and
to make-
jelly is enough.
No, you need to have people to make millions of dollars.
Right.
My thing is that people should be able to make it to the end of the day,
Right.
not lose their
Exactly.
houses on tax
You're
liens.
a loser.
You're a loser.
You're
A loser. That people should be able to survive and be able to have. You're
Yeah,
telling everybody to
that's
make a
that goal.
decent salary.
That's their goal,
Have a
right?
decent salary of $15
That's the
an hour. I
goal
want
in
people
life.
to survive. Yes,
That's the goal
To
in
make
life,
it to the
make
end of the day.
$600 a week.
not
You
600.
piece of work.
You
These
listen.
guys make $600 every 30 seconds.
And these guys with the billions of dollars, you think they care about us $600
I don't care if
losers?
he cares about
They'll
me or
take
not,
away
but
our
if I'm
houses.
one of him, I wouldn't give a damn about you.
Right, and they take away our houses in a minute. They'll foreclose on us and put us
What
in
do
the
you mean
street in a
foreclose?
second.
If you have a mortgage with them, you're not paying it. We'll
What are
foreclose.
you talking about?
What are you looking for? Sympathy?
This one guy bought a building
What
with
do you want?
this 91-year-old lady lived in the house for 30 years, 40 years. He's throwing her out because she's mentally unstable. She went to court, fought it, sang for the judge. The judge says, you're not crazy, you're not incompetent, and put her back in her house. And he's trying to sue her 20 different ways. Don't tell me that you big-time guys have a right to keep screwing us little guys.
First of all, I'm not big time. I would like to be big time. That's first of all.
Right.
And second of all, just know whether you like it or not, big time people have big time fun, big time money, big time control,
And they screw the
they
little one.
love their lives.
And they screw the little guy.
Why do they have
That's
to
how
screw
they
the
get
little
there.
one? Why do they have to screw
Look
the
what,
little one?
look what you're talking about, Mark Rich. Mark
Right.
Rich screwed people
Who?
left and
Who
right.
did he screw?
Many people.
People, not his
Who?
wife, apparently.
They did business with him his whole life. He never was blacklisted by anyone. How could you tell me that he screwed someone? Here's a man who's been around 45 years in the same industry, same business, and to the last day, Exxon was dealing with him.
Really?
Chevron was
See how
dealing with
Neil?
him.
You see how Neil
Yeah.
takes certain subjects. There was a guy in the book who was one of his compadres at the firm that he was there with, and this guy went to do business with the Spanish government that was still doing business with Iran and Cuba. So what happened was, is Mark Rich and his company, they didn't have a deal that one guy can't steal from the other. So there was no rule that first come first serves on a deal. So what did Mark Rich do? He went and made friends with all the people in Spain where he was his company put him in the office. And what did he do, Neil? The guy who should have gotten the business, he went and got his contacts, bribed the right people, and Mark Rich got the business instead of the other guy who got it first. You know what, Neil? That
You
is
want me to
wrong.
cry for the guy?
I don't want to cry
Because
for
he's a
him.
loser?
He's a
He
loser.
didn't know who to
You
give
stole
money.
my business.
He didn't know who to pay
He
commissions
didn't know who to bribe.
You say bribe, I say commission.
Okay, you see, that's your problem.
That's
And
because you haven't been around
you
the
see,
block.
that's why you didn't hear my quote. We are all soldiers.
Yeah.
We stand with people who stand behind us.
Right. There
we
are
fight.
generals, there are sergeants,
That's right.
and there's the
And
admiral.
again, those guys
Don't
fight,
forget.
right? And the guys who go out there to the war and send out the soldiers just to die for their glory is stupid. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's my story. By the way, Neil, very
What
interesting
a
story that I want to bring
moron.
up with you before we get to
What a
your.
moron.
Moron.
I
yourself.
haven't read
Here's
the
a
book, so
man
I can't actually talk about
who
it.
dreams about being wealthy.
No,
Dreams
not,
about
I don't
it.
dream about being wealthy.
He slobbers
I do not
over
slobber
himself
about
to
it.
be wealthy.
Not true.
And then all
I
of a
can't talk
sudden,
about it.
somebody did it, and they did it without him.
Did it?
They
Did it?
didn't do it,
He
right?
screwed everybody on the way up.
Who?
Everybody. There's a lot of
I'm
people.
asking you.
I'm going to tell you,
who.
for example, when he
Yeah.
was in Cuba, okay, he was doing these copper mines or whatever it was, certain mines, bribing the hell out of it when the government was ready to screw everybody. The way he screwed that government, that nobody was able to go back to Cuba afterwards.
Oh, please.
Yeah, read the
Stop
book.
it.
I'm
I don't
reading the
know.
book. I'm
No,
reading
stop
it. Anyways,
And
the-
Jamaica too, right?
do you know that?
Jamaica also.
No, but
They lent the country a couple $100 million so you
Okay.
can do business.
can
there.
I just tell you
I don't know.
something?
The
Do
problem is nobody knows anything
you
about
know
this book,
that-
so you guys are just talking about
Do you
it.
know that the FBI can track devices airline. When you're on an airplane,
Yeah.
they have devices that can scan cell phone data from airplanes and sweep up information from thousands of American citizens
Yeah.
who are not suspects in any investigation.
In other
And
words,
they-
they can do it not only on airplanes, but anyway
But
they want. They can
pretty
drive down the street.
What does
Right,
that have to
but-
do specifically with airplanes?
So the point, because they're saying that airplanes somehow that they have a whole group of it and they scan it in one shot when you're in the air. There's a way to do airplane mode. Yeah. And you see what
But
I'm
the phones
telling
are
you?
usually off in the planes.
It's not off. You're not turning off the phone. You're switching it to a different zone, and they scan your phone. They get all your information on it, and they're able to track you. And
And
this
like
is
3 years later, somebody gets around to read it.
Who cares?
that's the
Right.
point. The point is, if they're looking for you, they will get you.
Good.
Okay.
That's the point.
Now-
People that are always worried about their freedom being violated are the ones that are committing
So
the crimes.
by the way,
If the FBI wants to know about me traveling to
Esty-
Miami to sit on the beach, God bless them. If that makes them happy.
since Neil,
I
Neil,
cannot give
Probably
a
a
crap.
trip they know about too.
LOZ.
No, now they do. Thank
See,
you.
now that since Neil wants me to be wealthy, Esty, who's going to help me get wealthy and pay for this show?
Oh,
Esty?
nobody's sure.
So yeah, we have the Black Label electronic cigarettes.
absolve
You can
them.
go to blpremiumesig.com or call Mikey at 561-239-5941.
Mikey.
He missed his
If
cue.
you're looking for a personal trainer, Yossi Lefkowitz, located on 16th and 48th, you can reach him at 347-816-5207. Palm Gardens Adult Daycare Center, if you want to put your grandma somewhere fun. You can call Ellie at 917-903-5375. If you're looking for Green Line, Green Line Building Solutions. They do asbestos and lead inspection, DOB, violations, permits and plans, code compliance, preventative maintenance, HPD, lift stop work orders, and free consultation. And they get you to the finish line. They're nice. They love you. You can reach them at 718-871-0382.
And we help the little people not to get
Grow
screwed
to
by,
be big people.
not to go up to be people, to be
Right,
happy and to be
stay little
satisfied.
and be satisfied.
That's right.
Right. Mr. Clean is not on tonight.
Mr. Clean is on today, and Mr. Clean is a wonderful operation. He
Mr.
picks
Clean?
up Mr. Clean.
I knew you would like
Okay, Mr. Clean.
He cleans New York.
He has a pickup and delivery service, and you can do Mr. Clean Delivers at gmail.com. You can reach him over
What does
there.
he deliver?
He picks up your cleaners, brings it home. He's one of the premier cleaners in
Dry cleaners.
dry cleaners in the ballpark Flatbush area. They come, they pick up, they deliver, they drop off, and he really does very nice
What
stuff.
about
I like
laundry?
laundry too. He does everything.
How do you reach him?
Interesting.
Mr. Clean Delivers at gmail.com. Anyways,
no
guys,
phone number?
here's a phone number. I just don't have it with me right now.
Okay.
I'll give it to you soon. But my point to you. Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is the Justin F. Heshy Show. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m.
And you can call in to talk about any subject, which we're going to talk about.
Right,
in a few
we're
minutes.
for the little guy. Just remember, the littler you are, the more we're here to help you.
Right, Neil.
Okay?
Neil
if
wants
you have
sounds like-
any success whatsoever in your life, or you feel good in any way, please do not call this show at 303-9090.
718 area code.
303-9090. We don't want to hear from you if you feel even a drop good.
We're
because
kidding.
we want only the little people and the people that are hurting. Okay?
Which you know what, Neil? You see, look how you're talking with the dirty language. I'm
That's dirty
sorry.
language. Where did I pick that up from?
Yeah, I guess you did it in
If only
yeshiva.
your mother knew.
Anyways, guys, I would like to give it. Hello.
We haven't been on the air since this whole.
I want.
Baltimore
Right, but we're
incident.
going to do that
We
one more thing. I
definitely
just
gotta
want to
get
give you
on
one note
Which
because
is it?
Mr. Neil over there, the Mr. Big Shot, do you know that every North Korean household and business is outfitted with a government-controlled radio
Yes.
that can never be turned off? They can only be turned down. So that's
That's
you,
what
Neil.
communism is.
No, it's a billionaire that decided I'm going to be in the radio business. He bribed the government. He controls the radio, and the government has
Yeah,
this
he
new.
knows nothing about North Korea.
Yeah, when was the last time you were there?
You know nothing about
You want
North
to take a
Korea.
vacation?
I do know.
That's
a-
Kim Jong-un.
I got that.
and
I
that's
got
it.
that. But somebody has that contract.
No, there's no contract. Nobody has money there.
Oh,
The
please.
government said, "Make us the radio, or we'll kill
Right,
you."
that's it. It's finished.
It's a great
They
system.
have people marching all day, hundreds of thousands of people marching in circles. You know,
Anyways,
A whole lot of good it does.
South Korea, on the other hand, they
Oh.
have an economy.
Oh, okay. So I want to talk about this.
Okay.
Let's see. The whole president thing, right? I looked into it a little bit.
Which whole president thing?
oh yeah, you're
Like,
gonna
there's a
like,
president,
you're gonna
there's a
like this,
president.
guys. Go ahead,
Okay,
guys.
the Democrats and
There
the
is a
Republicans,
president,
they're
that's true.
choosing in between. So there's this black guy.
Obama.
The doctor?
No,
Is it
the
Obama? I heard of
surgeon
him.
Carson. I looked at all of them, and I
His
read
name is
people.
Ben Carson.
He's a guy. He's not in politics.
Tell
He
us,
goes
what party is he from?
Democrat. No,
Wrong.
No, Republican.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought he's conservative. Republicans are conservative. Okay.
They're not conservative, but go ahead.
And you know what the irony is? The biggest criticism that conservatives and Republicans get is that usually that we're racist.
Right.
That's not true anymore.
But why would we vote for a black
Their Uncle
person
Tom's
to
in this.
run
I'm
for
just
us
saying,
if we're
basically,
racist?
he
So
would
it might
fit
not
in-
be racism.
Okay, but he would fit in with Operation Clean Sweep because he's not a politician. He's a surgeon, and he just decided
He's
to
sick
do
and
this.
tired of all this crap, and he wants to make
Right.
things right because he's smart. I
So
actually
he's not a
learned much
politician.
about him.
Okay, if he becomes a politician and becomes like that, then we'll know it's not
So
possible.
that's
But
right.
he doesn't. He just
So
studies
SC
it.
So, Esty, if you would have done
The
normal
odds
research.
would be, I think, 30 million to 1 on him becoming president.
Well, there's another guy. There's another
Very
person.
I love him. I think he's
If
great. I
ST
looked at all of
so
them.
ST
Most of them look with their stupid
That's not true,
smiles,
ST.
trying to win people over. No, hold on. So most of them are not leaders. I look at them and I'm like, these people are not leaders. And this is, I want to do a test, right? Like they would be walking in the street, there'd be a crowd of people, and let's say there's this guy hitting this girl or something. They have it on prime time. I want to see if he would step up and say something because majority of them wouldn't.
So
And those
ST,
people are not leaders.
if you would have done your research, there's a lady called Carly Fiorina.
Yeah, I looked at her also.
Okay, and she's also running for president.
I don't
And
like her.
she used to be the former CEO of Hewlett Packard, and she's also going to announce a woman running against Hillary.
You didn't.
What's wrong
I
with
don't-
her? She was never in
She
politics.
was
She
the
had no
CEO of
background.
I
Okay,
wish
for a
that
while.
I wish that a woman could run the country, but so far the candidates suck.
But did you check into Carly?
Yeah,
She did a good job. She ran a big multi-billion-dollar
I just don't like
company.
I just like the way she looks. She doesn't seem like she's strong enough to handle
the
it.
way she looks. I got
I'm good at reading people through faces.
you. Okay.
It's my thing.
So now we're going to get to the most important issue of the night. Okay.
What's that?
The mayor of Baltimore finally decided
I
to
like the mayor of Baltimore.
a lady,
A black
I like
lady.
that.
and she decided to lift the curfew all of a sudden.
Right.
Do you, and you were
Just try to
right,
get
Neil.
the
Do you
peace
know?
back to
Do you know there
normal.
was 0 people at the baseball game?
Yes,
Zero
because
people.
it wasn't in
1 minute.
Baltimore.
Oh, who told you that?
Okay.
Who told you that?
So I was.
And what'd you say? No way, no way,
It couldn't
no
be,
way.
it couldn't
can't
be.
couldn't
But there
be.
was a baseball game in 1882 that only had 6 people. By the way.
Why?
Okay.
It
This
was-
had 0.
Okay. This is the lowest count ever. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that baseball allowed this to happen.
It's
They
not their
made it
fault.
happen.
But that
They
allowed
made them play.
the point of baseball isn't necessarily about the fans. There's actually a game that they need to play to, for the standings and because they have their contracts and the people coming to watch is just the extra. But when public safety, the game was supposed to be played in Baltimore and there were riots. In the first game, the riots were literally right outside of the stadium and people couldn't leave or get in and out of the game without being harassed and, possibly getting risk. They had to cancel the game, so they had to play them somewhere else.
What were these riots about? To what I understand, there was 3 black police officers, 3 white police officers.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, that's
so,
what. Do you remember
so
what
there
I
was
said
no
last
racial
week?
issue, and then you had Al Sharpton going down to
course.
Baltimore.
That's
For
right.
what reason? There was no racial issue here at all.
Exactly, because
You
this is
gotta
what I
get
said
it.
last week. I said, unlike the other riots, they were all worried, because the white officer was found innocent. They rioted before anything even happened. They rioted before there was a conviction. They rioted before just for the heck of it. They just rioted.
Well, I think they rioted that the police were
They're just
doing it.
pent-up animals.
That's not true. The police.
Just a
It
trigger
wasn't.
for
It
them.
wasn't the whole town of
It
Baltimore.
was certain
It
people.
was certain.
But the irony was that it ended up being, this is before even the facts came out, that half the officers were black. So what happened to that whole
Let's put
racism
it this
thing?
way.
Well, what
the
happened to it?
riot, the protesters that actually did damage,
Yeah,
I guarantee they all have rap sheets.
for sure.
Wow.
A bunch of kids.
you guys are
So
just.
here's
bigots.
the thing. So here's the thing. There's 2 different issues at
He
play.
wants them to go to his
There's
house.
2 different issues at play. Okay, there's the police brutality issue,
Right.
which I could get behind. I could hear that police
Right.
sometimes overstep
Wait,
their
I
bounds.
heard that they're putting cameras on each
That
cop
would
so
be
they
a great
can see.
idea. Most
Oh
of
yeah, I
them,
forgot about that.
there are
Dove
so many-
Hyken.
there are so
Dove
many good
Hyken,
cops.
my hero now, who endorsed Jeffrey Davis, who's running for election tomorrow, a special election in Crown Heights, Williamsburg area, and the 40.
And
Which is
he was endorsed by you, right?
It was endorsed by me. I can't believe that Hyken finally got on board. He now comes up with a great idea that everybody should have a dash cam in their car, which is brilliant.
it is.
So why
No,
aren't
they're
they?
going to use it against us somehow. Just think about
They
it. They're
can't
probably,
use it against you. You can't
Somehow
use it
they're going
against
to.
you.
I feel like they're
How
going
do you
to.
feel that?
I don't know,
I
but
guess
I feel
they
like
will.
they're
I
gonna do
guess
it.
they'll scan out cameras like the cell phones and then use the evidence against us. I guess
Maybe.
you're right.
I feel like,
Like
they're
the
going to do
insurance
that.
companies or the car companies.
No,
have
this is a good
monitors
way.
in
That
their
way,
car.
there's
Right.
no more, hey, what happened here? He said, she said by every single traffic accident. You actually have it on camera with the facts, so nobody could play any games. There's so
Okay.
much insurance fraud and this and that. This is actually a very good idea, but it's not practical. Anyway, let's just get back to what we were saying
Go ahead.
before, because this is a major issue,
Go ahead.
is that there's two different issues at play. There's the police brutality issue, and then somehow that morphed into the police are racist issue, because every time it's a white cop and it happens to be a black person that gets injured or killed or whatever it is, all of a sudden it turns into a racism issue. And I cannot get behind that. Okay, first of all, there's so many stats proving that over the last few years, more white people have been killed by the police. Okay, that's A. B, as we just proved in Baltimore, there are cops that are just bad cops, that are just brutal, or that just don't really, respect the law, and that they kind of are on power trips and they overstep their bounds. They come in all different colors. So if you want to protest about police brutality, I definitely hear that 100%. If you want to make it a racial issue, I can't understand how that makes any sense.
Issue. You see,
that's
they
what I'm
have their
saying.
own
It's a cop
brotherhood, like-
issue where they basically run the town, and anybody that wants to rat them out, they squeeze them out, and it goes against the fraternal brotherhood of the police, and they're all buddies.
Exactly.
And don't get me wrong, there's so many good cops. I'm sure you guys all heard there was a cop, unfortunately, that just got killed in the line of duty.
Yeah, terrible.
He actually just died a few hours ago.
Right, yeah.
25 years old. In the line of duty. Listen, they're heroes. They go out every
But
day.
they can't
put their life
they
on the
can't
line.
find it. Now here's my
They're
problem with
dealing
this shooting.
with the scum of the earth.
No, they found a guy that
Yeah.
they
A
accused.
convicted felon.
No, excuse me.
What do you mean accused?
First of all, he's innocent until proven guilty.
Yes, but they have evidence that he
Yeah,
shot
what
him.
evidence? What evidence? They can't find the gun. They didn't do any testing to see if he had any residue on his hands. How are you going to
So
be?
you don't
And
think he did it?
and wait a minute, he was hanging out with the guys right there for about an hour and a half. All of a sudden, you go arrested because somebody said so. I don't know. There's not enough evidence for
So
that.
they might not convict him, but they have to at least arrest him. That's the process of
with
law.
no, it's incorrect. You
They're
can't
not
arrest
convicting
somebody.
him.
You can't arrest somebody without a lot of evidence.
Obviously, there must have been enough.
I don't know.
What do you know about the case? I don't know anything
I don't
about
know.
the
That's
case.
all I read is that thing that this guy was hanging out with his friends right then and there. I don't know how he shot the guy, and 10 minutes later showed up over there
I don't know.
and was very calm. They
The
say,
point is that police put their lives on the line. They deal with a lot of violent people. Their lives are at risk. They have to sometimes be a little bit, more suspicious or more rough.
yeah,
Right,
in certain areas.
It's like when they're cuffing someone, and the guy's screaming, "Oh, you're breaking my arm!"
Well,
you're
it's the
breaking
same
my
thing.
arm,"
You know what?
And then he lets him loose a drop,
And then the guy kills
goes
him.
crazy.
Excuse me.
Exactly.
It's like that in every profession. You have that with the firemen. You have that with
100%.
contractors who work in bad neighborhoods or bad countries. So you can cry about
Don't
this all over.
compare
I can
contractors
compare
to the
about.
police.
I can do that.
That's
to
the
any-
stupidest thing
He
I've
has
ever
to
heard
be
in my
on
life.
par with everybody.
I've never heard such a stupid thing in my
Everybody's
life.
life in danger when you.
Everybody.
Nobody's
100%.
trying to kill contractors. Okay.
They are. They're
Okay,
trying to
they
rob
might
them
die
all the
on the
time.
job, but they're not actually
No,
putting
they
their
rob
lives in
you.
the way.
They do.
When there actually is crime happening, the police respond
You
to a violent
guys
situation.
are vicious
the dumbest
people.
thing I ever heard.
And you know what? So now I'm gonna go after you guys. Are you
Go
ready?
for it. Oh, yeah,
I'm
okay.
ready.
There was a big thing in Texas the other
Yes,
day.
let's talk about that,
And
please.
they shot two poor innocent
Hero.
Muslims. Wait a
You're
minute.
joking
Stop,
right now, right?
stop,
Yeah,
stop,
you're joking.
stop.
Get the meds. Get the
Hold
meds.
on.
Okay.
Okay, now listen
The
to this.
intravenous one.
Stop it.
No
Stop.
pills.
Okay, let me just say
to
something.
go right away.
Hero
This,
cop.
excuse me. This,
Hero saved
let him
hundreds
talk.
of,
Let him
potentially
talk.
hundreds of
Please
people
let
from
him talk.
dying.
You don't want to
For
let me
2 minutes.
finish.
Yes,
You don't want to
Okay,
finish.
because we're gonna have a.
You know what the problem is?
This.
He gets his news from the newspaper.
No, I want to give
Which
you
is
the name.
reporting stuff from that
Yeah,
happened at 4
That's
o'clock
not
in the
true,
morning.
that's not true. I
So much has
I
come
have
out
no-
since
No,
then. You know
excuse
what
me.
the hell you're
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 talking
not gonna let
about.
me talk. You just
No,
blah
we're
blah
gonna let
blah.
you talk.
You don't want me to say
Come
my
on,
piece
With that,
because
Steve. We're gonna let you talk.
Talk.
Esther, I want you to hear this. I want you to
I'm
agree with
listening.
me.
I'm on mute for 1 minute.
There's a lady called Pamela Geller, okay, a curva. Okay, what did she do? She set up a contest to draw Muhammad in a funny cartoon. She knows that the Muslims don't like it. She knows that the people were killed for doing this. She knows it's against the Muslim religion. I'm not finished yet. She knows that people are going to come there and make fun of these items and make fun of it. It's like people coming to you and saying, I'm making fun of the Jewish religion. Oh, Moses' stick was a wand or whatever, a snake,
Mhm.
people just drawing funny cartoons. And they know that you're not allowed to do this about the Prophet Prophet Muhammad. She went.
But you are in America.
Don't talk.
You gave me a whole minute.
I did.
Now
The minute was up.
it's not up.
No,
All right.
let him talk.
I'll buy another minute.
It's
So
not-
this
just want
lady
another
goes
minute.
out of her way.
Uh-huh.
Then she hires private security for about $50,000, and she knows something is going to go down. She knows that Texas is going to go down. These people walking around like cowboys with guns all over their shoulders are going to shoot anything that walks by. These two guys are saying, "Listen to me, man. Stop it. I don't want you to do it. Stop it. Oh, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech does not allow you to torture another person." But I'm not finished. One more point.
One more
One more
point. You
point,
better
and I'm
get
done.
there, 'cause
I'm not
you-
point.
I'm waiting for any
This
point.
crazy Geller lady,
Mhm.
she has an operation to stop. I love this one. She wants to stop giving out the Quran books to everybody. Nobody's allowed to get any more of the Quran books. She's against getting people to give the Quran books, and she's not against Muslims, but she hates Islam. So she's looking to cause trouble. She's looking for a fight.
That's true.
So
and
these two guys
and
come by and say,
therefore-
"Stop!"
that's what happened. Two guys came by
Right.
and said, "Stop."
And then they just shot them in the head.
That's
You know,
what
They had
happened?
nice
Yeah.
suits on.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
heard they
I'm
had
pretty
very
sure
good suits.
that they were wearing bulletproof
No,
vests and carrying assault rifles.
no.
Oh, no?
That's not what I heard.
Oh, where did
because
you hear
your
from?
ass was
If you would've
stuck
read- if
with
you
your
would've read-
crapola.
No, no,
Where
That's
did you
why.
hear from?
If you
The
would've
same
read-
place that said
if you-
Elvis is on the moon.
Right.
If
I
you-
read that paper.
if
It's
you
in the.
would-
It's in the.
No, I was doing research on the
Uh-huh.
internet.
Mhm.
The police, no explosives were found in the car
That's
used
correct.
in their Texas tax.
Correct. And
FBI agents canvassed the Autumn Ridge apartments, the complex speak, and there was nothing.
what were they carrying on them at the time when they were shot?
No, we're not wearing bombs on them,
They
sir.
were wearing
They
bulletproof
weren't
vests.
Bulletproof vests.
Correct.
But in Texas, they walk around with guns and
Uh-huh.
bulletproof vests
Uh-huh.
because
Yeah,
they're
they do.
Muslim people,
They walk
and
around
they
with
can be
bulletproof
shot at
vests.
any moment. You see, you look how you use the finger. You guys
Okay.
can't take it. You cause trouble.
All right.
We tried to stand up for our rights.
In other words, the flag that you had an issue with or not? I don't even know.
I have an
Okay.
issue with the flag.
Let me tell you what
what's
really
the
happened.
problem that this guy draws and makes affairs
Nothing. Go
of
do,
Muhammad
go do what you want, but
pissing
you,
on
but you,
whatever.
Let me
but you
tell you
made
what
a
really
contest.
happened.
Yeah.
You made a
So what's
contest to
wrong?
torture us.
What's
Disgusting,
wrong?
horrible of her to do. That
Okay.
does not give the right for other people to come and murder people.
I agree. I agree. How do you know they were
No,
coming
you
to
don't.
murder?
Because if you actually would read the story,
they were
you'd
coming
find
to
out.
protect the
Right, of
people.
course, they were going to stand guard from a real terrorist.
Right.
They had connections to ISIS. They actually
So
posted
far, they don't know.
on their Twitter. They posted that they are coming to avenge Allah and to murder people. Straight up, those are the words that they said, and they had semi-automatic weapons with them,
And where was the
and they were wearing
FBI?
bulletproof vests.
Where was everybody else? They were waiting for the call that somebody got shot. But this time it was the Muslims. Okay?
Thank God. Thank God we had this
for
cop.
Texas.
Thank God that they're such good marksmen.
Stand
They're
up
able to kill them.
strong.
You
Exactly.
see how haters you are.
Right
You
through
are
the head.
racist pigs.
Right
Well,
through
you're a
the head.
liberal.
Anybody whose skin is a different color than you guys are bad.
Really?
Yeah.
This has to do with skin color?
We're just trying to be
We
practical.
don't even
I
know
don't
what
agree
color
with
they
that.
were,
Yeah,
by the way.
who are
I don't
they?
even know what color they were.
I think they were black Somalians.
Mm.
Oh, I don't even know that.
These
You see?
people, according to the newest news, because again, we don't go by the newspaper that had the story.
Not
when it just
newspaper. I was
broke.
reading
okay.
it from the internet.
Oh, okay. The FBI has actually been following these people, and
Right.
most of them have been on a watch list for over 8 years.
Okay.
And they're known associates of many different terror organizations.
Right.
They've been arrested before. And yes, the reason why there's extra security is exactly for that. Because when you're making an event that's going to bring these
They
nut jobs
paid the
out,
town
that is
extra
what you need.
security, plus they had private
If only
security.
they had security by Charlie Hebdo in Paris, maybe 12 people wouldn't be dead right now. Maybe
For sure.
they actually would have actually killed
For
them
sure.
before they were able to do this. There were hundreds of people at this
For
event.
sure.
If these guys
I
would've
would
came in
like
with
to
all
hear-
the-
I would
what's
like-
funny about all this is that everybody's like waking up like surprised. You know,
Yeah.
like what? Oh, like Texas
Oh,
didn't wake
and
them up.
I just have one question. Hold on,
professor
I have
over
one
there.
question. Who shot first?
Oh, the cop, the off-duty cop.
Ah, wrong.
They shot first?
Yes.
That's not what I heard.
That's maybe you should read it again.
Where'd they shoot?
They shot one of the guards in the leg, and thank God there was a police officer nearby, heard the shot, and took them out.
Oh,
That's
really?
what happened.
That's what happened?
That is what happened.
Okay,
Beautiful.
okay.
Beautiful.
SD,
It is
I
so
wanna hear
nice
somebody
see
else's
our
opinion.
people at work.
Our people
So
are-
again, who started it? Innocent. They were innocent,
They were
right?
innocent.
Why did they shoot?
Maybe
What
they
was
were-
going
maybe they
on?
were coming to-
Murder.
Maybe
They
the
were
gun
so
acts-
surprised
maybe
that they
the
got
gun-
shot. They
You know
didn't know
what?
hit them.
You know what, Neil?
And now
You
it's
told
all
me.
they
You
have.
told
They
me
have
that.
virgins. Good.
You told
They
me.
have olive oil.
You know what my
like,
favorite part of the
But
story
Neil,
is?
you told me that 47 states in the United States,
have ISIS
and we're letting them get away with it.
Al-Qaeda
And we're letting them
cells.
get away with it.
Yes.
And we know about it.
Yes.
And why are we letting them get away with it?
I have-
Because we are one of the dumbest countries
Yeah, because
in
of
the
people
world.
like you.
Right.
You make
Because
us
people
dumb.
like you.
Well, we actually
who say,
have terrorists
"Leave
with
'em alone.
guns.
Leave
with
'em alone."
terrorists with guns that come to shoot
But if you
people.
wouldn't let guns in the
and-
country, they wouldn't get it.
But it's too
Right.
late for that.
There you go. It's
Too
the
late.
same
They have them already.
stupidity.
Esty, I would
Blame
like
it
to.
on the
I
gun.
don't have an opinion.
I
That's
just-
what I'm
blame it on
thinking.
I know
the
you
gun.
don't have an opinion on it. But I want you to get somebody's opinion.
have
Push
one-
a button and let's get somebody's
yes,
opinion.
this
I
is the-
have one
okay.
thing to add. Hold on. My favorite part of the whole story is the cop that shot these guys? He was a traffic cop. Could you
Wow,
imagine
really?
a New York
They have
traffic
guns?
cop actually doing
How do they have
anything
guns?
useful with their lives and actually?
They don't have guns.
Texas,
They do
everyone
in
has
Texas.
guns.
New York is the only place where they have separate special meter
Right.
cops.
Right.
Cops are
Okay, so
traffic
you were
cops.
listening.
Texas is a place for guns.
Yes, and they picked a really dumb place. I guarantee you, by the way, if they would actually went into the event, I'm sure some of the people probably would have had guns.
Oh, for sure.
But still, they had the element of surprise. They were coming with automatic weapons, spray up the room. Literally,
So
100
yes,
people
you
could have
are
gotten
listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. We're
This is
on
not
Monday
shocking.
and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. You can reach us at 718-303-9090.
Let's just walk around and shoot
Hello?
I'd like
everybody.
to
Hello, you're on the air with
check
Uncle
for
Hershey.
How much money he sends them.
Mitch,
killed. It's a
Hi.
show. We're
Hello,
not
how
safe.
are you?
We're not safe anywhere in America. We're not safe.
But Texas is safe.
Well,
Yes.
we have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. How are
Oh,
you?
hey, how are you? What's up?
Hey, it's Mitch. How you doing today?
Hey,
What's
Mitch.
up,
How
Mitch?
are you?
By the way, I gotta ask you before I get into what I want to talk about. What happened last week? I thought you guys weren't going to be on another show.
Because
okay. So we ended up pushing it off to this week. So
what happened?
They
No.
didn't even
Oh, yeah,
tell me.
I wasn't here on Tuesday.
we were
What
supposed
happened?
to be
I
on
gotta
another-
tell you, working with this guy is becoming some sort.
No, we
pain.
were supposed to be on
He
another
didn't
show.
even tell me we weren't on the
We
other
were.
show.
I'll tell you what.
Thursday.
I'll tell you what happened.
Wednesday.
Governor Patterson
Right.
had to get on the show, and he wanted our time slot. It was a
Right.
very good slot.
That's not what happened.
So we yeah, it is. So
You're
we
talking about
stepped
the
aside.
Thursday night,
The Wednesday
satellite?
night or Thursday night. No, not satellite. It was
No,
we were supposed to be
Romeo.
on the Ralph Romeo show.
Oh, I didn't know about
And
that.
yeah, we were supposed to be on the show, and then they canceled as we
Where was
walked
my
out of here.
invite?
Where's Patterson for us, man? I love him.
You do?
Oh,
I
Anyway.
love him.
Yeah, go on, Mitch.
I
Sorry
don't
to
know.
interrupt you, like
Yeah,
always.
I was looking for you
He's
guys.
a
I just wanted to-
level-headed thinker, yes, and he's a deep
Anyway.
thinker, by the way.
All right. Heshy, I got to tell you, I can't disagree with you much more than I'll do now.
Nice.
How can you possibly talk about this woman Geller with the idea these are the same people who say that her organization is a right wing. You ever hear that? You ever hear when they want to criticize people who are criticizing this Islamic situation, they're always calling people right wingers. We don't know what we're talking about. We're causing trouble. Oh my God, we're going to do a cartoon of Muhammad. Boy, that means that we should all be executed for
Yeah.
that.
Apparently,
Hey,
it's a penalty of death because in this
Mitch,
country, we're under Sharia law.
Mitch,
where
I
you
want-
can die for
I
that.
want to
Mitch, I
understand.
want to tell you something.
Yeah.
I was in Israel a couple years ago, and
They let you in
I
there?
went for a Jewish holiday called Sukkot.
Yeah, I know. So
And then what happened was there's two ways to get into the old city. There's the Jaffa Gate, or it's called Shashchem, the Arab Gate, I think it's called. Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Sounds about right.
Anyways, it was the same time that year. A holiday called Ramadan fell out exactly the same time. And all the Israeli soldiers and police officers blocked off the secondary gate. And I walked in, my hotel was nearby, and I said, why should I walk 35, 40 minutes around the whole city? Right here, 5 minutes away is the gate. Let me walk right through, and I'll be by the old city in 10 minutes. They said, no, it's Ramadan. We don't want to upset the Muslim community on Ramadan. It's the holiday that a Jewish guy to walk through. It made sense to me that we shouldn't make them crazy. It's their holiday. Why upset them? Why do something to torture some other person because you're in the mood to show your freedom?
Because you have a right to.
this is America.
This is not
America,
Israel.
you are allowed to say things that you hate. It's in the Constitution.
I'm a citizen of the world. I'm allowed to do this anywhere I go.
Yes, you just might get killed for it.
That's what it says on your passport? Citizen of the world?
Yeah.
We know about the United States. Well, it's called, the idea is, the only thing you can't do is you can't shout fire in a theater, right?
Correct.
Remember that old concept?
Correct.
But you're allowed to criticize other religions.
No,
in a synagogue.
no. You can't criticize other religions. It says,
Why not?
it says serve your own religion, not to criticize
I'm
somebody.
allowed to criticize
You have the
whatever
freedom.
I
You have the
want.
freedom to practice your race, your religion, your sex,
Correct.
but not to go. It doesn't say in the Constitution or anywhere to criticize somebody else.
Free
It says
speech.
practice.
That's what it says.
What
What are you talking? It's the first
Wow,
thing.
you guys are just terrible.
No, you're just an idiot. Your
You're
brain doesn't
abusing. You're
work.
abusing it. You know what? It
Why
says.
don't you teach this young lady about history? Why don't you give her the facts? The idea is you can criticize. That's what it's about.
Exactly.
No, I
couldn't have said it
don't
any
even
better.
understand you. It's like you didn't wake up. Uncle Heshy.
I don't get me wrong, Mitch. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe that these two guys came there to do a peaceful thing. They should have been killed. They did come to harm.
Oh,
They did
you
come-
changed your mind in the last
No,
5
but
minutes.
I was trying to bring out a point to you that this lady Geller caused and stirred up trouble for no reason. I don't even
She
see
had
what
a reason.
What was the reason?
Because that was her interest in doing so.
Maybe she's sick and tired of people being killed around the world because they make a cartoon of Muhammad and they make a big deal about it. Maybe she's trying to make a point that
The
people
point
should
was exactly
support her.
that it would
Right.
lead to people acting like
Right.
terrorist
And
animals.
just like
That's
Rushdie,
exactly what it did.
we don't have enough
Solomon
women?
Rushdie, who wrote the book, right? They're still giving him protection. Why?
But
Why?
we don't have enough people to make fun of. We don't have enough people to criticize
Let's all
in the
just make
world.
fun of Uncle Heshy.
We don't have enough people to make cartoons. Yeah, make fun of me, but you need to go after people who don't want it. They're telling you, please leave.
By the way,
I have a
if you
question.
read a journal,
You know, there's a crippled. There's a crippled woman, Mitch. Mitch. There's a crippled kid that comes to my synagogue. Why don't we all just dance around him and make fun of him
You
and make funny
could.
cartoons?
If you're a sick person, you absolutely
ahead.
could. You don't
You
deserve
have
to
the
die
right.
for it.
Making an idea that we should about the idea that about this woman criticizing religion that's hateful and all that, and
Yeah.
a question that it's supposing
It's
to
actually-
a young man who's got a handicap problem.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah, this is actually like a chicken and the egg,
No.
because the reason why she's criticizing Islam is exactly because of this. Because the second they don't agree with what you do, they figure that they can kill you. That's exactly the point. That was the point she was trying to prove. So it's not, oh, they're coming in because she's doing this. She's doing this to show that this is how they act when they're not happy.
and like Mike Savage said today, you know, wherever there's trouble in the world, any country fighting with any country, it always involves Muslims. Muslims with someone else.
When's the last time down to Yarmulke that I was worried about getting on a train or a bus with him?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know
Yeah,
what?
he's got nothing to say.
Your points. No, I have a lot to say. Your points
no.
are very.
Well, nothing sensible to
your,
say.
your points are very good, and you understand what I'm coming from. Is that when you're going into a neighborhood, say for example, you're a nice white Jewish boy, and you're walking into Harlem, I would like to see you open your big fat mouth and say some bad words.
You're
over
allowed
there.
to, and the cops would have to protect you by law. That's the point. It's not a smart thing
And
to
you
do.
expect not to be beaten
It's
up.
not a smart thing
You
to
expect
do.
not, or walk in the middle of Borough Park and start
Guess
saying
what?
F and Jew.
Guess
and
what?
see how fast
When they
that the Jews-
arrest him and they bring him in front of a trial, guess what? The excuse of, well, he said something I didn't like that offended me. Guess what? They'll
What?
lock his ass up in jail.
Why?
Because that's not.
Why?
Because that's how it works in America. Just because somebody said
But
something you don't
Free
like,
speech is
it doesn't give you the right to hurt them.
I don't even understand.
What are we
you.
arguing about?
You could say whatever you want.
I could walk into your face and
No.
say F you and your God,
You
F you,
can't,
F you,
you
F you, F
You
you,
ca- you
and
gotta-
if
you gotta
you
con-
touch me, you go to jail.
You
That's
have
how
to.
it works.
There are moral rules within
Nobody's
your
saying
brain.
Nobody's saying
This
we
is
agree
all
with what she
legal.
did.
Only
Nobody said we
legal.
agree.
Only legal.
I
Nothing
think
to
it's
do with
Hey,
morality.
Mark Rich did only thing legal according to you.
Of
Bribing,
It's
and
not called bribing.
I think
it's
it was-
commission.
commissions.
silly
I'm
of her to
sorry.
do.
I
I don't agree
apologize.
with it. Everyone's
So
religion
why
should be
is
respected.
Skelos and
but it's not
Silver
wrong.
getting in trouble? They only got commissions.
Yeah, they didn't report it, but
Yo, thanks so much for the call, Mitch. Seriously,
Mitch,
we're
Mitch,
putting him in his place.
Mitch, thank you for the call, Mitch. We
Yes,
appreciate it.
Anytime you
Mitch.
think Uncle Heshy is wrong, please feel
yeah,
free
and
to
if
call
you
in.
have any, if you know of any hospital that has free time for electroshock treatment,
No, I think he
we
needs
have a
the
patient.
12th floor of Bellevue is what I
we
think.
got
I
a
don't know.
page. I didn't even know there are 12 floors there. But
It's the
anyway.
hidden. It's the hidden floor for.
By the
for
way,
special
you're
people.
listening to the Just Enough
Oh,
Heshy
yeah.
show. And,
Yeah,
and,
why are you listening?
Yeah, you can get
Why
us
are
on-
you listening?
You
I'm
can
gonna
get us
tell
on
you what.
Facebook. You can get
Because
us on
see-
Twitter. Just go to Justin of Heshy.
Oh, she perks
We're
up
on
now.
Monday and Tuesday from
Perks up
7 to 9 p.m. You can also get us live on YouTube. Just go to Justin of Heshy. Heshy spelled
We are
Heshy.
streaming now live on. You could actually see us and see our
Right.
stupidity in real life.
So yeah, you can
Instead
call
of
in
hearing
at
us.
718-303-9090.
But what do you think about this cop that
You
got
are
shot?
a
I'm
nut.
curious. What do you
I
think?
don't understand you.
You are so
You're stopping
crazy.
me from my freedom of speech. A nerve of you, my boy. You're torturing me.
You
that
Oh,
I
you're
can't-
allowed to say your dumb
You
ideas.
make a
We'll just make fun
cartoon
them.
of one of your rabbis that you hate or something.
Right.
You
So-
have the right to do that.
Exactly. So the other people should come and kill you, and they're okay.
They shut off my mic when I make fun of the jerk drug
Who's
issue
they? The
people.
American government?
No, the
Who's
producer.
they?
The
Oh,
producer.
Okay, that's
This is a private radio
thing.
station. I also
You know?
can't say the F word on the air. That doesn't.
He's worried
that's how it
about the
works.
money. Everybody's worried about the money in the doctor's family over here. You know, it's all about the cash. Cash in,
But
cash
it was just
stays.
to me. It
Cash
was
in,
just
cash stays.
the timing of the whole Baltimore riots coinciding with what happened, that this hero cop literally saved hundreds of people from possibly getting killed, just goes as a
Exactly.
reminder that the police have a very difficult job. They put their life on the line to protect us. And yes, there are a few bad
And
apples
let me
mixed
tell
in.
you,
They
this
come
is
in all
beautiful
races
what
and
this
colors.
cop did.
They
Really.
come in all races and colors.
Until now, whatever the terrorists try to do, they were never stopped by a cop.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Never.
Could you imagine?
This time they were
do you
like,
understand
I'm telling you,
that
they
this could have
peed in
been-
their pants.
This
They
could have
did-
been
right before they were
9/11.
shot, that they didn't
Yeah.
know what.
This could have been the
happened.
second most fatal terror attack since this could have been a huge story, much bigger than what it was.
But like
Thank
that
God.
Texas, that other Texas story, wasn't
Which?
there a professor that he came in shooting one day?
Who I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they want to
But
call
do you
it
realize what this could have
workplace
been?
violence.
Oh, I heard
It's
something
a
like that. Yeah.
professor, psychologist, psychiatrist.
I don't.
Yeah, it happened like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
You know
Right,
what? One-
15 people were killed or
Right,
something.
right.
My
something like that.
What?
friend-
See, look the way you forget about them.
You want to hear the quote of the day?
Forget about
Yeah.
such
You want to hear the
people.
quote of the day?
Yeah.
And this will shut you up, hopefully, with your point. My quote of the day that I heard about this incident in Texas is: people that hated the First Amendment got introduced to the Second Amendment.
Wow.
You understand what that means?
I understand.
People
what
that hated the right to freedom of speech also got introduced to the right to bear arms in America, and they got a little bit of a lesson about how the Constitution works and about what your legal rights are. So just like we have the same right to say
Wow.
what we want, we can make fun of what we want, we could draw cartoons if we want, we also have the right to defend ourselves, and thank God that happened, because literally hundreds of people could have gotten killed.
But I'm really sorry to tell you that for
What?
those two,
Yeah.
lesson wasted.
I agree.
SD,
I agree.
SD,
I agree. But they
SD.
got a nice introduction to the American Constitution.
And
And
let
they
me
heard
tell
the
you,
first
and
right,
if we would
and
have a
taken
good
out by the second
president,
right.
we
Yeah.
would have if we would have like a Giuliani as president, man, these guys would be on the run in every state.
My question is, if they were on the terror watch list for so long, why are they living? Why were they even able to get that close to filling?
truth,
I don't. What am I
I'm
missing
happy
here?
they were on the list.
But what am I missing?
That's a good part.
These are people that have no
But I
relations
think
to
after
terror.
8 years,
living, yeah.
I think your watching goes down a little. In other words, even if they're
Yeah,
somewhere
you're
on
right.
the database.
But the fact that they were able to come so close
watch
to this.
people for 8 years, you know what that would cost every person
You're
on
right.
the list?
But it goes to show that it's not discrimination. There's
No,
a reason
they-
why certain people
they
are on the
don't-
watch list, because some of them are bad.
And
that's
they
what we
don't
have to do.
understand either that the Arabs and the Muslims have a tremendous amount of patience for anything.
Anything they don't
For
disagree
anything.
with.
No,
sure.
They can wait. They can have a plan
Oh, you mean
for
like that?
years,
Oh, yeah.
and they're patient.
They wait for the
eating
right
their
opportunity.
sunflower seeds, smoking the kabuka, whatever it is,
And that is why
and that's
law
it.
enforcement
And,
has to be more
So
suspicious.
let me tell you another little story.
oh, I don't want to hear your
Is it-
stories
is it-
again.
You guys
Is it related to any of
don't
this?
even
I
understand.
want to hear
You're
it.
not looking at the human aspect of it. The Boston Marathon bomber.
Yeah,
He
what
was
about him?
crying and he wiped.
Oh, because he saw someone from his Russian youth.
No,
He
no,
was
He
no.
saw
crying.
this lady from his Russian
No,
youth.
Let me give him some
Yes.
sandpaper.
His aunt and other people told stories how he was a good boy. when
Oh,
he
he's
was
a
young.
good boy.
And he was tricked
Oh.
into
He was
this
tricked
crazy
into
way.
it.
Yes, that could be true because of the sick, twisted parts of their religion that convince innocent people to kill people on behalf of their God. That's the point.
So what? Fry
And
him.
there was such good fry him. So
I'm sure
Fry
he was
him.
a good boy. I'm sure he grew up when he was 8 years
Yeah,
old.
and I'm sure
probably
he
played
might have
ball in
even
the
shared
backyard.
his lollipop.
Yeah.
And if not his lollipop, something else. You know,
He
like,
was a
come
very
on,
good boy.
Give me a break.
so the guy, we understand now that
He's worried about.
You
the
mean he
other
didn't
case
murder people when he
where
was
the
8 years
jury's
old?
Still out from 36 years ago.
Hello?
That's the case he's worried
He
about.
didn't murder
That's right.
people when he was
That's
8
right.
years old, so he was a good boy.
Right. No.
That's the definition of a good boy.
Right. And he,
Did you
and he
murder
bought
anybody when you were a
Grandma
kid?
cup
No.
of tea.
So
And he even
obviously,
put sugar in.
the justice system is being too hard on him.
SD, we need to know who's paying for the show because I'm tired of these boys right now
Of
screaming at me
course,
for
you
no
always
reason.
get tired.
That's right.
So yes,
Right.
hello.
Get tired.
So yeah, we
Fed
have
up.
Palm Gardens. They are an adult daycare center. You know, give your grandparents a gift certificate or something. Send them there. You can call Ellie Taub at 917-903-5375. We have the Black Label electronic cigarettes. If you're trying to quit smoking or you just smoke them, you can go to blpremiumesig.com and call Mikey at 561-239-5941. If you need a personal trainer, Yossi Lefkowitz is your guy with 17 certificates. I don't even know like what you could
Whoa.
learn so much, but yeah.
I don't have any certificate.
By the way, I heard he really.
So yeah,
is a
he's
good
located
man.
on 16th
Yeah, he's a
and
very good
48th.
man. He's
You can reach him
very
at-
good. He's
Yeah.
very good. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Good,
reach
good.
them. You can reach
If he's
Yossi
gonna
at
be on this show,
347-816-5207. We have Mr. Clean. You can go to mrcleandelivers@gmail.com. You can email him, and he'll get your dry cleaning to you
And if
to
you
your
email,
door.
and if you
All
email
guy
the
goes
Just
like-
Enough Heshy show, if you email the hello,
If you mention the Just Enough Heshy show, you'll get how much percent
you
off?
get 25. You get a 25% discount.
Wow.
5%.
That's a
And
lot.
Wait a minute, it gets better than this. And get email justinofheshy@gmail.com and we'll put you direct phone with him because we have a problem with today's.
So
Let me
yeah,
place his number, yeah.
Cool. So we have Green Line
So
Building
email them and
Solutions.
find out a stupid number.
Green Line Building Solutions. They do
Email
asbestos and lead inspection, DOB, violations, permits and plans, code compliance, preventative maintenance, HPD, lift stop work orders, and a free consultation. You can
And
reach
we
them.
care about the little people.
They care about the little people. You can reach them at 718-871-0382. Again, this is the Justin Heshy Show. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. You can get us on Facebook, like our page, Just Enough Heshy. Hashtag Twitter, Just Enough Heshy. We're live on YouTube right now, and if you'd like to advertise or just shoot us an email, you can email us at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. The number to call in is 718-303-9090.
We will be opening up the phone lines after the top of the hour.
No. Why do you have to open the lines? Because they're listening to us anyway already.
Right, the
NSC.
NSA. Anyways,
Only when we're on the plane.
Neil, we're coming to the end, and I want to tell Neil a story. Another little
He
story.
always has a story.
I always have
to
a story.
tell that goes
I posted.
nowhere.
I really well. This is
Okay,
going so.
go ahead.
There's a story that I posted on the WhatsApp that somebody gave it to me, and you're gonna like this story. You ready? The difference between rich and poor. One day, the father of a very wealthy family took his son on a trip to the country with express purposes of showing how poor people live. They spent a couple days and nights on a farm, what would have been considered a very poor family. On their return home from the trip, the father asked his son, "How was the trip?" The kid said, "It was great, Dad." And he says, "Did you see how the poor people live?" The father asked. "Oh, yeah," said the son. "So tell me, what did you learn from the trip?" asked the father. The son answered, "I saw that we have one dog, they have four. We have a pool that reaches to the middle of the garden, they have a creek that has no end. We have imported lanterns in our gardens, and they have stars at night. Our patio reaches to the front yard, and they have the whole horizon." It gets better. "We have a small piece of land to live on, and they have fields that go beyond our sight. We have servants who serve us, but they serve others. We buy food, they grow theirs. We have rules around our property to protect us. They have friends to protect them." The boy's father was speechless. His son added, "Thanks, Dad, for showing me how poor we are. Isn't the perspective a wondering
That's
thing?
crazy.
Makes you wonder what happened if we all gave thanks for everything we have. Instead of worrying about what we don't have, appreciate every single thing you have, especially your friends." Pass this on, guys, because friendship, like you, Neil, I still, even though you call me names and you make fun of me, friendship and help them refresh their perspective, which you do every day to me, and appreciation of this wonderful life, which I forget about every single day. Life is too short. And friends are too few, my children out there. So please have somebody, love
You're not
somebody.
gonna have a lot of friends left after this show.
I don't know. I'm just telling you that everybody should get a chance. Everybody should
How
have
many chances?
Who should get a chance?
at least 103.
Why?
Because
Why?
Who should get a chance?
Imagine, so you can kill 102 people according to you and
Not
get away
kill,
with it.
not kill.
And by 103, we say, oh, we think we had enough. We have enough meat in the freezer.
Okay.
Okay?
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen,
are we getting off the air?
We are going to.
We're going to
station
identification.
We're going to
You
station
got them to
identification.
switch it?
We didn't get them to switch it.
Why
But,
not?
Neil is always complaining. We're going to station identification. Stay tuned, everybody. The second hour is going to be still a blast, and Neil is going to have an attack on me. We'll be right back with the Just Enough Heshy show. Thank you, everybody, for the first hour. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Just Enough Heshy show. While I have a minute of silence and peace in the studio of these crazy people around me, I like to say a little opening quote this day. And it's about society. The limitations of riots, moral questions aside, is that they cannot win, and the participants know it. Hence, rioting, like in Baltimore, is not revolutionary, but reactionary, because it invites defeat. It involves an emotional catharsis. Catharsis.
Come on, you can do it.
I got it. But it must be followed by a sense of futility. So just because you riot and make noise, it's not going to make it win for the day. Okay? It is just futile action.
It feels good for a few minutes.
It feels good for a few minutes, but you're going to regret it. And especially at 20 or 30 or 40 years down the line when somebody gets hurt, you're going to look back.
How about the fact that the people that were affected by it were in their own community? That's what I didn't understand.
What do you mean by the own community?
Okay.
If my neighbor, you're going to tell me that my neighbor did something bad to me, oh, too bad he's your neighbor? It doesn't work like that.
What were you talking about? Which riot are you talking about?
They destroyed stores. They destroyed. I was watching a report of a young.
They also destroyed people's houses that lived in their own community. I read a story on what's it called online about this lady who was literally begging with them not to light their head. And they threw a Molotov cocktail into her house, and now she's homeless.
Wow.
How does that accomplish? Isn't it sad that I feel worse for her than the people of her own community? I don't get it. If they want to lash out against the police, if they want to burn a police car or attack the police fine, I hear that. That makes sense to me. If you feel like these are the people that are oppressing you, how does, when I'm upset about something, so I'll just go and
because
I'll just hurt some innocent person.
What I believe that they're thinking.
I don't care how upset I ever am. If somebody pisses me off, I'm not going to just randomly go to my neighbor and punch him in the face.
A riot is a statement that you remember. Like, look at this. We remember the Los Angeles King riots. Mm-hmm. We remember the New York riots from '77. We remember the riots
and they're
recently.
All equally useless.
They might be useless, but people at least will remember the story that, hey, let's be careful. Let's not screw around because what's going to happen is more people going to get hurt, and it's not worth it for you to.
Do you want to hear the worst part of everything, in my opinion?
What?
Do you know how many drugstores there are in that neighborhood?
How many?
Take a guess.
I don't know.
Take a guess.
10.
1. They literally had to beg and plead. You can read about this. The mayor put tremendous pressure on CVS to finally open up a drugstore, because in general, these big box stores, they don't open up in these low-income neighborhoods. It's always usually little. Finally, they had a very sophisticated, you saw the picture, it was actually a nice building. It was very sophisticated.
Yeah.
They actually had a good place to get medicine within their own community, which was not available anywhere else, and people were relying on it to get medication.
So it wasn't the whole city
of the ground.
So it wasn't the whole city of Baltimore. It was only a small area.
It was a small area.
So why was the whole city shut down?
Because you can't just isolate it to one area.
Why not?
You can't just say from this block to that block. You have to do it citywide, because then they'll just move to 10 blocks over and they'll start something else there. Oh, what's the difference?
Okay. Well,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how does blowing up a pharmacy where people are going to get medicine and people are relying on because they're actually sick and they need medicine? It just makes people disrespect their cause. That's all it does. It's silly and it's stupid. And I will give you the same example that I wrote about on my blog, where it's in a weird way, not to the same extreme level, but it's very similar to terrorism and going on in Israel. Nobody is saying that the plight of the people in Gaza is not, if you take their whatever it is,
the Palestinian people.
Nobody will say that they have it easy and that that things are rosy over there. But the people that will support them, the second they start killing innocent people to further their cause, it turns off the very people that might actually want to listen to what they have to say, because they become.
I don't understand.
They become animals.
I don't understand murder and killing.
Yes.
I just don't understand.
And it's one thing if they want to attack, Israeli soldiers, if they want to attack, the Israeli government. I understand. Not that I condone it, of course not. But I would understand. They're the ones that are holding us back. They're the ones that are oppressing us. Fine. What does that have to do with blowing up a bus full of innocent children because we're upset about something? Like, what did this 6-year-old child on his way to school do to you? Nothing. So to the rest of the world that might actually get sympathy for them, it just makes them look stupid, and it just devalues their cause.
And I have a question for you,
So it's the same thing.
You're telling me that with all this that's going on, we can't stop it. I mean, look how America is stopping most of its terror. They're saying every day. We're talking that the countries and the governments are spying. They're listening to cell phones. They know what's going on. They know who's doing this.
And look what happened. These guys almost carried out the whole terror attack.
How is it possible?
I don't know. But at the same logic, you have to also realize there were a lot of terror attacks that were thwarted by intelligence over the years. You have to give them some credit. They have done it, and it doesn't make the stories in the news the same way and the same powerfully as when a terror attack actually happens, because then people remember that, but they don't remember all the things that happened over the years where they were thwarted.
Well, I want to tell you. I want to tell you something.
Look at it. Just Google any day in any country. These things are happening.
I'm with you on this. I want to ask you a question, Z. That since you and me are alone here, Este's going to come back and do our horoscope in the top of the hour. I'm going to do a trivia question. But my question is: we had a show last week, Tuesday, that Neil and me had an argument. Neil and me had an argument about, and there was a Norman called in that religion is foolish. Stupid that you believe in the Almighty. I don't believe in it, and I'm an idiot for believing in God because there is no God, and blah blah blah.
From a logical standpoint, it makes sense.
So now you're picking their side.
No, I'm not.
What is your opinion on God?
My opinion is that it's something far beyond logic and has to come from a person's just ability to believe and accept something as a higher power than them. But logic would dictate that if you can't see it or you can't touch it or this or that, then logic would dictate it by raw logic ability that it doesn't exist.
Not being able to touch it. So love, which you can't touch,
is not an actual thing.
Love is just like faith.
Exactly. It's not an actual thing that you could actually.
So you have to believe. So guys like Norman and Neil who don't believe in God don't believe in love.
What? Neil believes in God.
Neil doesn't believe in God. He was sticking up for Norman the other week.
That's just because everyone has the right to their own opinions.
Neil?
Yeah.
I was asking Z about his belief in God because people called me this week.
But love is just an emotion.
They were complaining how you stuck up for Norman last week.
Of course I stick up for Norman because...
What's anger?
Because let me explain to you about God, okay?
Here we go.
Yeah, very simple. To the believers and to the non-believers equally.
Yeah.
None of you have any certainty in God or not God whatsoever.
I do have certainty.
So then you're a crackpot. That's all. You're not normal.
There's a percent.
There is no proof.
I lose my faith in him. Doesn't mean.
Okay, but there's a 99.9% chance that he exists, and there's a 1% chance that he doesn't.
That's not true.
That's because you were brought up.
No. What I'm saying, no. What I'm saying is what I would say to the average religious person, that there's at least a tiny bit of doubt.
There's no doubt. Are you crazy?
You can't be 100% sure.
Esther, you just really.
You can't just be 100% sure.
I'm 100% sure that there's God.
But there's not enough facts. You would have to be an idiot to believe something.
Sure there was a God. Let me tell you something. You'd be behaving a lot better.
Why?
My children says I'm hungry. You would be there within 4 seconds with a meal and feeding her nicely
can I-
instead of
my
saying,
children-
"Mommy, I told you I'll be there in
Excuse
3
me.
hours."
No.
Can I sum this up in 2
Every
seconds?
once in a while, my children tell me, "Hey, Pop, I'm not listening to you,"
What
and
does
they
that
get
have to
angry.
do with you?
And they know I exist, and they
Guys.
know that my belt can come off and start swinging at
Guys,
any
I can
time.
sum this
because your
up.
pants
that
aren't gonna
is
fall
pretty
down.
messed
No,
up.
it won't.
You
No,
do
it won't.
not-
My pants won't fall down.
You do
anymore.
not hit your
I took
kids.
them in a little bit. This
Dude.
week.
Heshy,
But my point is,
you
I
don't
like
hit your
this-
kids
it's not
ever.
that I don't hit them, but I could punish
Ever.
them in a different way. The point is I believe that the Almighty. Sure, I lose my faith because I'm upset that He punished
No,
me.
you should
and
have
I
your
don't know why he
faith. You
punished
should just know that
You're
you can't be
nuts.
for certain. The only thing you
I
can be
am
certain is that nothing is for certain.
I am
Something like that.
certain God is there.
Wait,
Well,
and
it's illogical. That's all I'm
and
saying.
and I misbehave because I don't know why I
That's
It's
misbehave.
illogical, that's
You're
all.
brainwashed.
I'm
that's all.
brainwashed.
Just
I'm
don't
waiting.
believe in it.
All I
You
know is
waiting? You want to
I
get
have something I have to
one minute,
say.
but I
Okay,
was
please
one
say
minute.
it.
One minute. I
Please
was.
say it
I
I'm
was
before
gonna
you make
blow
a
them
mess.
apart in 1 second.
no, but I was in synagogue and everybody was screaming at me about my buddy
Okay,
Neil.
because you live in a place and you pray in a place that are a bunch of lunatics that own nothing. They have no depth to them.
What do we
They
know?
don't
Depth?
know anything.
They do
and
charity. They help
I don't
people.
care
They
what
build
they do.
buildings.
Right,
They vote.
buildings.
They
Great.
create new things for the world.
That became a thing. You built buildings.
It's not buildings. They do other things for everybody.
Right, I know.
Okay, there's so
Okay,
much
tell
we
them
do.
to clean their pants so they keep pissing on themselves.
Oh, God.
That
I'm
they
just
should give
waiting
it into the dry
to chime
cleaner
in.
so they don't stink up the place anymore.
You
Can
are
I-
just
can
a
I
vicious
chime in for a
man.
second?
I am
Yeah.
a vicious man.
Can
Yeah.
I chime in for a second?
Please, Z.
Yeah, you're 100% certain about God, right?
100%.
Guess what? There are other religions that are 100% certain about their God. One of you has to be wrong.
Dude,
No.
wait. Has anybody
You're both
seen?
right.
Excuse me, they were all right.
You're all right.
Oh,
We
yeah?
So
all
there's
believe
more than one God.
No, there's nobody says there's
I'm
more
just
than one
saying there are
God.
people walking
Sure there
around.
are.
Everybody
No,
believes there's only
the
one
Muslims-
God.
Muslims and the Jews. That's it.
And the Catholics.
They believe Jesus.
No,
is
they
God.
believe that Jesus is the Son of
No,
God.
but he's God.
God,
he's
but
considered
still
God.
he's one God. It's
No,
one. You're not
no,
understanding.
No, you're
Then
not
you don't understand
understanding.
Christianity. The Son, the
No.
Father, the Holy Ghost is
Right.
all
There-
one.
Right.
It's the same God.
Right.
There are plenty of
But
religions
it's
where they
not
don't
the
believe in our
Jewish
God.
way.
It's
Plenty of
not. It's
them.
not the Jewish way. It's not the Muslim way. Not every way is the same way. To get to the end of the road,
It's
I
not
could
the
drive down
same
There are
God.
I
plenty
can
of
drive down-
religions
it's
that
all the
believe in
same.
different
Buddhists
gods than
don't
us.
believe in it in the
Correct.
same God.
Correct.
We
The
believe in.
What
Buddhists
about
don't
the
believe in any
Mormons?
God.
Sure they do. They have a higher power
Yes.
system.
Okay.
Whatever.
And by the way,
Hold on,
the
I just wanna
Mormons do
say-
believe in God.
There
We're
are plenty
on
of
the
religions
Uncle
where they
Heshy
don't.
show, and it's on.
that's
We're
not what I
on the
wanted to
radio, and you can call us at 718-303-9090.
What show are they listening to? Neil?
Oh,
Uncle
Steve's gonna
Heshy,
cry.
or just enough Heshy.
cry.
You are
And you
wonderful.
can hashtag, you can Facebook, and you can do whatever else you do with this electronic stuff.
And you can
all
watch
right?
us on YouTube.
And you can YouTube us.
Oh, so you're gonna
and soon
imitate
you'll
Esty?
find
I'll
us in the
imitate you.
theaters, at a theater near you.
I'll
Okay?
imitate you. And then it's your job.
Hold
to
on.
imitate me.
I want to say something about the whole. So South Park has an
Oh,
episode.
She
I
has
know
something
it's
to
a
contribute.
no. So
I
South.
can't believe she knows about South Park.
Right.
She
That's
doesn't
where-
watch TV.
By the way, that's where I learned everything about history and things that were
Oh,
big.
thank God. At least you have a good source.
They make fun of it, and then I learn what it
Okay.
is. Either way, so there's an episode where a lot of people die, and they show you hell, and there's a whole bunch of people, and he's like, "I am the devil, I am in hell," and they're all like, "What do you mean? I was a rabbi, I was a Christian." They're like, "I'm sorry, the Mormons were right," and everyone's like, "Ah." It's such a funny episode. But like heaven is really boring, and everybody is like, "Hi, how are you? How's it going?" And people are like, "I don't want to be here." So South Park makes fun of people.
I can't believe I'm sitting
Fantastic.
around a table with a bunch of people.
Mama, what did you say? I didn't hear you blow them off.
I just did. I said there's two people that both believe in their God 100%. One of them has to be wrong.
What about
No.
the atheists?
And they're also 100%. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Everybody, there has to be
No.
a little bit.
But
What?
the
The
truth is,
atheists
a
are
wise
wrong.
person
Right.
What was the quote?
will tell you the truth. I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
This is the way I do it because I have my reasons, whatever it is. I'm comfortable, my family,
No.
my this, my that, whatever it is. But to say that you believe 100%, come on, who you kidding?
Not 100%,
Who you kidding?
1,000%.
Oh, that's different than 100%. Okay.
yes,
Much
yes.
less.
That's why. Why do you? Excuse me.
Right. That means you're way,
Much
way.
less.
You must be down to 10%.
I have a question for you, Neil. Can I ask you a question?
You can
Wha-
ask me anything
well,
you
you-
want,
what-
but you're going to get an honest answer.
Okay.
Could you handle it?
Oh,
yes.
no.
Were you born? Did you come from your mother's womb, or did you hatch from an egg?
No, I came from my mother's womb.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
How?
because she swears how painful it was.
Whenever you misbehave, she reminded you.
That's right.
Exactly. And we know for a fact
That the
For-
chicken came first.
not the chicken, that God created us. We know that we spoke to
We
God.
know for sure.
There's
sure.
actually a great
Why?
book called Permission to
We
Believe.
had
that
our
has a
people
lot of
have
logical
spoken
proofs in
out.
there.
We have people.
It's not important. You can bring me
Yeah.
all the proof. Go to
Yeah.
Heshy,
But until you see it yourself, it's not
all
100%.
the proofs you
I
want.
hear you a
and
1,000%.
you can still be sitting
Yeah,
there, you know.
I know. Until you see it for yourself,
and
it's
by
not
the way,
100%.
and by the way, all the to all my religious brethren who are part of the tribe, just remember: when do you sit and pray the most? When you finish with the doctor and he says, "Listen, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I don't know." So
Not
what
true.
happens? There's no atheist in a foxhole. There's no other hole.
Correct.
That's-
So all of a sudden
Neil,
they start crying with a
you see,
Tehillim,
that's
and they sing.
no, that's you and
I
Norman.
want to be good.
No, Neil, that's you and Norman. I go to prayers. Neil, I go to prayers every day.
That was the
I
eagle laugh.
I cry to God every day for all of you.
I know. You're
That's
like
sweet.
Jesus does
That's
for us.
adorable.
He did it already.
Wow.
He cried for us. He died for us.
Okay, no, there was this saying, I can't find it now, but like, so God said, I'm gonna create religions and I'll tell you which one is real. Now fight
I'll
over
be
it.
Esty right now. Keep on talking. For a
Okay,
second.
Esty, I have a
You're
question.
listening.
Esty, my question is,
High
can
five.
you at least give me the horoscope today?
I
screw
Oh,
that
oh,
horoscope.
I like the
We're talking
horoscope.
about serious stuff here.
You're not talking
And you-
serious.
and you
People
think
believe in the stars
horoscope
more than the
is
God.
real.
You guys are talking nasty.
No, tell us the horoscope is as real as God. God, tell us that.
Oh, excuse me. People believe in the
No,
stars.
no, I'm asking you,
and,
right?
and God has put
Right?
signs.
Right? Yeah. Tell me he's not a lunatic. White coats, come on in. Yeah.
Esty's drawing
Pick
a
him up.
picture. Esty's drawing a picture for
Pick up
sale.
at the studio. Pick up at the studio.
Esty is drawing a picture for sale, like we sold last week's picture. We have this week's
Somebody
picture for
bought
sale.
it.
Bought it for $22,
Cents. Oh,
and this week we're selling
But you
it
said
again.
you're framing it.
I'm framing it. I'm
What'd
going
you
to
do?
put a
You made a
cheap
picture
frame.
of a frame around it?
A cheap frame, and I'm going to
people
be
frame Uncle Heshy
this
all the
one
time.
and this money.
Just like those terrorists were framed.
And the money I've decided will go to Masbia, even though it's
Oh.
$20 or $30.
Right.
It is a
I'm
beautiful.
going to
She's
give
very
it-
Yeah,
talented.
it's a very
I can
good
never do that.
place.
It's
And
a
they
very
get
good-
no
I can't even
government
draw
programs.
stick figures.
You know what? Neil? Anyways,
No, they don't
Esty,
get any government
we
programs,
got to pick up
just a
Esty.
little bit here, a little there.
Okay, let me
That's
read
to feed
the.
their own
Can you
family.
let Esty talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, if today's your birthday, what path do you follow over the coming 12 months? You follow the one that your conscience tells you is right. It may not be the easiest path, nor the one that pays the most, but it's the only one that will bring peace of mind.
Oh man.
You see?
You know what? How about everybody take this? Because I mean, the information's useful.
Yeah.
Okay, strive to be nice to people today. Z.
Z.
even if they're not always nice to you. A full moon in your opposite sign of Scorpio will help you realize that people everywhere are much the same, if not quite as brilliant as you. Yeah, Z.
Esty, I want you to read one more story right over there, the one that I marked with a dot. I want you to
Okay,
hear
yeah.
this story, Neil, and this is about God.
Good.
Okay, so this money grew mold, not interest. A good Samaritan found a bag with $63,000 in moldy dollar bills at Bald Eagle State Park in Pennsylvania and turned it over to the authorities. Inside the bag was paperwork with the name of a woman who reported lost cash a year ago. Cops are trying to hunt her down and give her the good news. She's probably dead by
That
now.
is a man who believes in God. He could have stolen the money and says, hey,
That's
Could
a
somebody
man who
send
believes
some
in
food
God?
to
Yeah.
poor Pam?
That has
Ham
nothing
and
to
5
do-
sure, he
What,
didn't
you
have to give back the
crazy?
money. Why would he have to give back the money? Moldy
Because
money.
he's a moral person.
A more person.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
Who believes you don't take what's not yours? Have you ever heard of such something like
It was
that?
probably
Yes,
drug money.
yes.
Why wasn't it in the bag?
don't take what's not
I
yours?
take what's not mine, like Mark Rich, who takes whatever he feels like.
He's
Mhm.
dead.
I
I don't
know.
know why he's relevant.
He's not relevant. I just hated that book so badly.
No, let's not talk
As I
about that
read
stupid
more
book.
and more about it, I saw how, and you know, they called him the devil. He himself understood that he was the devil.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Not a country in the world that didn't deal with
They
it.
were scared of the devil. Everybody's scared of the devil.
Everybody's
Do you know
scared
the
of him.
devil works in every country?
Yeah.
Devil works in every
Oh,
country.
the devil's a great worker.
Right, he's a
baby.
great
He's not
worker. So Mark
these
Rich was
kind
a
of
devil.
He's not a minimum wage worker.
Okay.
The devil.
Okay.
He's making.
He's
that
making
money.
right. He's making. Why? Because we all believe in God, and we know that the devil tricks us. Anyways, take a call, Esty.
Believe in
I want you to
God.
take Norman's call today.
Okay, fine. So yeah, you're listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can call in at 718-303-9090.
Any cold drinks
Hello,
around?
you're on the air. Hey,
Hi,
Norman.
everybody. How are you?
Hey, Norm.
Norman, what's up?
I hope you had a nice weekend.
I did until now.
Yeah, well, listen, this guy's picking on me, and I'm in tears,
Who?
Aw.
What? Where?
Yeah, he hurts my feelings.
Who?
He's just wrong. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and no, listen, I just want to tell you something. Sometimes he's a Looney Tunes character.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you, Neil, thank you for sticking up for me. And sometimes, Heshy, when you say things about me, I never even said what you said.
Yeah,
That's
he
why I
twists-
gave you the air so you could defend.
Yeah,
I
he
never-
twists his words.
Fight
always.
back.
Heshy,
The floor is yours.
I never said anybody was stupid. I just questioned. Listen. I'm not going to call somebody stupid on the radio. It's not my
Why
job.
not? That makes great radio.
Mm.
Yeah, no, well, when I think I have to attack somebody, you see, I have different opinions on things, and other people have theirs. I can't understand why a nice guy like Neil would want a guy like Giuliani to be president, because he's incapable and he's a very mean.
New York did terrible, and he was mayor. Crime only went down like 400%.
Neil
What a
Neil
terrible
wants
mayor.
Neil wants
yeah.
Neil wants Bloomberg.
Why,
Neil wants Bloomberg as president. That's
Wait,
what
listen.
Cleaned up this city like no one else
Yeah,
has.
he's a
He would make a
pig.
bad
He
president.
screwed us little guys left and right. Again, only guys like Mark Rich and all these people got away with it.
Wait, what do you say about this Carson person?
Wait, listen. They're all corrupt. I keep telling all of you.
But even the good guys are
Listen,
corrupt.
listen.
Democrats are corrupt too. They're all corrupt.
Listen, when cocaine came into the United States in the 70s, it was because there was all top people that were corrupt. When the drug came into Miami Beach, whether it was on freight ships or whatever,
I smuggled a little bit in my naughty
people,
parts.
Listen, the people that were delivered, who had the drugs delivered to them, it was delivered by police departments that were paid off.
Well, who else would deliver?
Well, listen, I mean,
Either the Marines or the police department.
That's right.
They're all corrupt. We know that.
Yeah,
Norman, we got to get to your point, Norman.
No, 1 minute.
But listen. But first of all, as she said, I have no love in me. How could you say that?
I never said you have no love in you.
No, well,
I did not say that. I have no.
You know, he was talking about me, probably.
I was talking. I
said
said that you don't believe in God. That's a problem.
No, but that doesn't mean I don't have love in me.
I didn't say you don't have love. It says if somebody says that there is no God, and the only way you have to know God is by being able to touch or feel something. Love is also only a faith kind of thing. There's no touching or feeling love. Love is within
you.
you.
To tell me you think I can't feel love?
I do believe you feel love. That's why I do believe.
You feel something that's not there, but you don't have to believe in something that's
Norman,
not there. I think there's a guy standing right next to you.
Norman, I know you're full of it.
Listen,
I know you're full of it. I know you believe in God.
Listen,
and I know you're ready for your maker.
You know what? I wish there was a guard, and I wish it was a woman guard, because she'd smack you around for your Corva club. You take a nice beating from her.
Nice.
But, get him on that.
God is both, so he'd still get a beating.
Listen, it's just that I don't understand your conceptions about things. Sometimes
it's from third grade. That's why.
You have a problem that
it never grew.
You have a problem that I believe 100% in
you
the Almighty.
You believe. You don't even know what believe means.
I do know.
Heshy,
I do know.
Listen, Heshy, I taught all my children right from wrong.
Oh, okay.
They have, just like Neil said, don't you believe that people can have good morals? You don't have to be religious to have good morals. You just have to, some people look, but they don't see.
People who don't believe in God have no morals. People who don't believe in God have no morals.
Well, I think
whisper the sounds of silence.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, man.
Well, Norman.
Morals has nothing to do with religion.
Norman, thank you for your call.
That's what I just said, Esty.
Yeah.
It has
100% true.
You know what? This man is stuck.
Plus, atheists have more to prove because they don't have religion. They're always nicer.
You know what the best example of moral had no religion? How could anybody morally justify killing an innocent person? And there's a certain religion where they kill innocent people all the time, and they justify it for their religion. But how could you say that it's moral? So obviously, morality has no place in religion.
Hey, you have a lot of crazy people through the years who did that.
Am I wrong?
What was that guy? What was that guy?
Stalin?
Not the guy who took somebody down, a whole bunch of people down to Guyana, and he killed them. What's in the name?
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones. That guy ran Christianity.
He went to
Guyana or something, or I forgot what it was called.
Like a cult?
Wasn't it here?
No. It was another country. He took them all.
I think we lost him.
And we lost him, but it was another country. I forgot what it was called, and he poisoned all his people in the name of God, Christianity.
And they went for it.
They went for it, so people could be
There's
brainwashed.
a lot of cults. Hey, how about the Maharaji guy who has 30 Rolls Royces and 5,000 women? And all he does is sit there all day shriveled up, and they got to find it and then do it.
Oh, God.
You know? Come on.
God.
Nice.
Anyways, I want to tell you something about your little city here, okay? With
Which
your little
city?
people. There's a new rule, okay? First of all, by the way,
Is that Article 827953C?
No.
Oh.
You know, by the way, Governor Christie, he's going down.
He's going down.
I hope so. Two of his people were
He's going
indicted,
down.
and another guy,
That's it. He's
a
done.
third guy is telling everybody that they actually, I can't believe, to get back at the mayor of some town who didn't support you, you shut down the city.
That's real politics.
That's sick. And Governor
So you
Christie's
think it's
making believe he
sick,
doesn't
and
know about
to
it.
them, it's all normal.
It's not normal.
Why is it not normal? Why do you think they did it?
So why
Because
wasn't
that's
Governor?
what happens.
So why wasn't the boss indicted yet? Why wasn't Christie
Because
indicted?
they protect him.
But they sooner or later the people have to rise up and scream. Why are you
We
getting?
are.
He's not going to vote for him.
No, the flunkies. That's not true. That's not true.
He did a bad job in Jersey. Taxes are really up. You know, he just passed it down.
And
to
he
the
was going to be
counties.
a presidential candidate almost.
No,
And
not
then-
anymore.
I'm saying until this
Yeah,
whole thing
he's done.
torpedoed.
Wait,
him.
but you guys still didn't tell me about this Carson thing. Do you agree with me that he seems like a stand-up guy? He's not in politics.
No.
He's
Right,
just a
but he's
surgeon.
never going to win.
No, but he's
That's
really
the man.
smart. But would you vote for him?
It's not the issue.
I don't know. Right now, he's
Winning
my
is
number
the
one. He
issue.
looks from everybody else. He
I'll tell
looks
you
the
what,
most
you could
stand
vote
up.
for him even 10 times in the same election, and I'm telling you, he's still not going to win.
You know what? I'm going to campaign for him.
Let me just
Good.
tell you something. You know
I'm
what?
going to go to everyone I know and say, if you vote for
Esther,
him.
the reason why Carson won't win is we are ready now.
Wait, he's in the Republican Party?
Yeah.
That means I could vote for him because technically I'm a Republic.
Did you register?
I registered in a Republic because my parents were Democrats. I was thinking, okay, so we both have a say, but apparently I'm supposed to be Democrat. I don't agree with either
In the
party.
presidential election, you can vote for anybody you
Right.
want.
So, but because I'm Republican, I can vote that he be one of. When is the voting thing that I can choose that he
voting
should
thing?
be? Yeah.
I'm
That
not sure what you're talking about.
you know when they're voting the Republican Party who should
Right.
run as president, don't I get to vote?
You do get to vote.
Okay, so how do I do that?
Are you registered?
I am.
Oh God.
Are you really registered, Esther?
Yeah, I'm stick registered for Republican, so
Oh,
I
but
might as
It's not
well.
a mistake. It's fine.
She asked me, "You want to vote?
No,
You want to
who's that?
register?" I was like, "Yeah." Which
This is
party?
not-
I'm like,
Well,
Hold on.
Well,
Can I point out
voting,
something?
the voting is next year.
I need to point out something really
Is it
ironic
next year
here.
or is it this year?
What do you mean?
No,
the
it's next
presidential
year.
elections or
No, not
2016?
the presidential
the
election.
party.
But for nomination for
I think it's the end of this year, and then
the
the whole year to
primary,
campaign.
right?
I gotta
I
do
think-
it.
I think it's
I
this
just
year.
think
Is
it's
that correct?
ironic. Hold on,
Is
hold
that
on.
correct, producer? They
Hold
vote.
on, hold on.
They start voting this year,
Here's a
city by
person.
city.
Here's a person who most of her ideals that she thought she's very liberal. She hates Republicans and blah blah blah. And then she actually accidentally was reading the stuff that she agreed with and was like, "Oh, this guy makes a lot of sense." And boom, she turned into a Republican. That's pretty interesting.
me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I don't agree with either party.
Anyways,
No, but the one that you said you agree with the most.
let me.
No, not the
most.
So let
You
me
said.
get.
What's
No.
his name again? Carson.
Z,
I just happen to like him, not because he's Republican. He just seemed like a
No, but the
legit
ideals
guy.
that you
But
said.
the idea
are
is
all-
he is a Republican.
Right.
Oh, you're always. Oh,
I don't agree with both sides.
So-
you know what? I'm
so
going to
is
make
the
a new
woman.
party
Nobody does.
that has good sides.
We have
Okay.
reform. We haven't. By the way, the woman running for office also is also
I still don't like her. Just being a
Okay.
Republican does not make you good enough.
Well, I'm telling you, at tomorrow's election, since we're bringing it up, please vote for Jeffrey Davis. All you people in the Crown Heights. Bedford,
Jeffrey.
He was a guest. And Jeffrey, you're gonna make it. You're gonna do good, and you're gonna change the world.
I
Listen
like
to me.
Right, and maybe it won't take you 30 years to get that tax credit for the private schools.
Okay, well, let him
Oh! Now you're not talking about
I'm
it,
not
right?
talking about
now
it.
you don't
Oh,
talk
I
about it.
agree. I
If
agree.
there's
He's
any-
going
I'm
to get
working
it
on
done.
it for 30 years.
Well, that's hiking.
Really?
That's
If
hiking.
there's
Really?
any city where that would be a huge disaster, it would be in this city.
No.
Let's be honest.
Can I just tell you about
You don't.
something?
You don't agree?
There's
That would be
a
a
there's a
disaster.
new rule.
There would
There's a
be
new
such a
hello.
moneymaker.
Do you know what the city is doing now?
Disaster.
There's a beloved longtime handyman for
Beloved by who?
Stuyvesant High School. Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
A long-time handyman for Stuyvesant High School. He's being fired after 23 years on the job because he never passed a civil service exam. Kevin Levington,
Pass an exam to be a janitor.
54, has been praised.
Service.
But let me just tell you, praised for everything from providing theater lights to configuring security, climaxing, fixing anything
Will
that
he
he had
get
to
his
do.
pension or not?
All right, so wait a minute.
He has experience. Isn't that enough?
He does everything. He fixes everything. Yet the city's under court order to get rid of thousands of provincial workers, even those like Levingen, who received a certificate in 2012 for 20 years of dedicated service to the school. Due to your provincial status with the New York City Department of Education and Civil Service rules, somebody says, I regret to inform you that your service as a provisional machinist helper cannot be maintained. The DOE, which is Department of Education, Human Resources Director Angela Hayes Spencer wrote in a letter April 22nd. Therefore, your services as a provisional machinist will be terminated May 6th. Under state law, Levingen has a required to pass a civil service exam to become a permanent employee.
Maybe he'll do it and get there.
No, but he had to take it by May 2014. He says nobody notified me. He had nothing. No one ever told him that he had to pass this exam.
Right.
City officials said all provincial employees must be removed within 4 months after the list is established under the law. And it's not alone. Levingen is not alone. The de Blasio administration had reduced the list of provincial workers from 22,954 last year to 21,000. So they're just firing 1,500 people of this year department for a city for the post. I mean, I understand that. You just make up a law. You make up a law.
No, the law was there originally that you needed to take a civil service test. He slid. He got away with it.
Okay.
And now it's time to pay the piper. Take the test.
No, I think
they gave him notice, and he decided, screw them, I'm here 21 years.
They're saying no.
He's saying that
back
he didn't
then
get
he
it.
didn't need to take the test. Now you have to take. They changed the law that everybody who wants these jobs has to take the test. He's already in. It should
Is
be
that what that
grandfathered in.
article says?
I think so.
No, but
I
he
don't
should be
think-
exempt because he has experience, and you
Right.
can't beat that. It's usually you go to college, so you can have more than just experience. Like if you don't have experience, you can like get a little bit of
not
feel.
college.
No, it's
It's
like
not
somebody
college.
becoming an EMT and he's working 20 years and they say, oh, they find out he didn't really get his
Yeah.
degree.
He
It just
can know
goes-
more.
You know what the funny part is? This goes to show how unnecessary it is because the guy was able to do his job perfectly fine. So what the hell does he need to
Not
pass some
fine,
sort of
better than
exam
fine.
for?
A civil service
I'm saying
exam.
it's so
A
stupid.
stupid test.
Yeah.
Right.
What show are we listening to?
You are listening to the Just Enough Heshy
Oh.
Show. We are on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Get us on Facebook, Just Enough Heshy. Like our page. Twitter, hashtag Just Enough Heshy. Live on YouTube now, Just Enough Heshy, Heshy. You can advertise with us at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. You can call in at 718-303-9090. We have Palm Gardens, the Adult Daycare Center. You can reach Ellie at 917-903-5375. We have Mr. Clean. He's going to deliver laundry right to your door. And if you
pick
mention
up, and pick up.
up, and if you mention the Justin Up Heshy Show, you get 25% off.
And you can reach you. You can get his number.
Email him at mrcleandelivers@gmail.com. You can probably find his phone number online.
Right, and you can also call us or email JustEnoughHeshy@gmail, and we'll send you his number.
So we have the Black Label Electronic Cigarettes. You can go to blpremiumesig.com. Call Mikey at 561-239-5941. We have Green Line Building Solutions, asbestos, lead inspection, DOB violations, permits and plans, code compliance, preventative maintenance, HPD, lift stop work orders, free consultation. They'll get you to the finish line. They love the little people. They're so nice. Go to them for free therapy.
I love her.
You can
I
reach
love
them
her
at
so much.
718-871-0382. Go.
I love her. She's doing wonderful.
9, they love you even more.
Now, can I tell you a story about God now? Ready? 105-year-old found alive in the quake rubble.
Oh,
Eight-
yeah, I heard about
8
that.
days after a devastating earthquake ravaged Nepal, a rescue team
Naples.
made a miraculous discovery. Officials announced yesterday 3 people, including a 105-year-old
That's
man,
why
were
you
5
never give
alive.
up.
You never give up. And only God could have done that. If he wouldn't have
Do you
believed
know
in God,
which
if he
country-
wouldn't have believed in
Yeah.
God, he would have never lived.
Do you know which country sent in the most aid
Which
by far?
Israel.
Israel.
Really?
The racist, apartheid, hates freedom, blah, Israel.
Oh, yeah, I
Israel
forgot about
has sent
that.
in the
Mark
most
Rich
people.
dealt with Africa when they were a racist apartheid country.
And-
Correct.
So did many people.
Right. And he used to help them develop their weapons.
He dealt with Iran.
And he dealt with Iran.
Iranian crisis.
And afterwards
all
too.
legit.
He was there to make money. He's not there to deal with politics.
Not legit. He went through a back door.
No. Yes, you say a back door. His attorney says it's the front door.
No, he was dealing through Spain, also Spain too.
Switzerland. His company was always a corporate.
His company was Switzerland, right?
He had a building there. His whole building.
I got
was
that,
there.
and I got that.
You can't tell me he just rented a little box. His whole building was there, a brand new spanking.
Well,
building.
that's when he ran away over there, so he had to have his company there. Even though he started in Switzerland.
He started in
Okay. The point is they asked him not to do it, and he was so greedy for his money that he had to.
Was he legally allowed to?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
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 That's
America said no.
No, legally.
His country said no.
Where he was he legally allowed?
Let's put it this way.
His wife and children lived here till their death, till his death, and he let them live here.
And America said that I'm allowed to say, screw Muhammad.
America came to Switzerland to arrest him.
Kidnap him.
Swiss
Kidnap him.
People.
Sounds like a good book, by the way.
And the Swiss people told them that if you put a hand on him, we're going to arrest you. Okay, so let's not let Heshy.
Yeah, but they sent somebody stupid there.
Weinberg?
Yeah, come on. Weinberg was a loser. And first of all, Weinberg didn't even have a case against him.
Of course, because the government had no case against him.
And still he ran away because he knew he was doing something wrong.
No, because Giuliani said he wants to put him in jail.
Right.
And he said, I'm not going to jail.
And you know what he says? 1 day in jail.
And what they pay?
1 day in jail is more than a whole lifetime to run away. That's wrong. That's wrong.
It didn't seem to him too wrong.
Okay. Because he screwed everybody.
Yeah, and that's why, like, when he flew into countries and they were waiting for him, like, he had a phone call come in and say, whoops, and he would turn around.
Okay, so I want to talk about...
Who you know, baby.
I don't know.
Okay, so can I talk?
I'm not a fan of Mark Rich.
But why are you all of a sudden so obsessed with him breaking the American law when the American law also says that they're allowed to make a demonstration where they draw cartoons of Muhammad? That's also the American law.
Right. American law is
so why all of a sudden is it a big problem?
Okay, so can I do my psychology term for the week?
What? Go ahead.
Okay, fine. So
why did you shut off my mic again?
So sorry. There's something called the Cotard delusion. Cotard.
The Cotard?
About delusion can be traced back to Uncle Heshy.
Yeah.
He is the most delusional person I know.
I don't know. I think
he lives on
forget
about not in this planet. He's in his own.
Okay, so this mental illness thing is basically they don't believe they're alive. They think they're dead, or they don't think they're a person. You know, they don't think they'll die of natural causes.
Husbands who might say that about their wives.
They have like a distorted reality.
They think they're God?
Yeah. No, they just think they're not alive. They feel like not in touch with themselves.
If you open the door, we get cross ventilation.
The treatment would be mood stabilizing drugs and psychoanalysis probably. But yeah, it can. It doesn't say where it comes from, but
I'm assuming a guy named Cotard.
His name is Julius Cotard.
Oh,
yes.
wow!
You're good.
I didn't even need to learn about that to know that.
So they'll just feel like parts of their limbs aren't there. They'll just feel like certain body parts just don't exist and they don't exist.
Your arm
is like that brain.
Yeah, it is a brain thing, but it probably come from.
Some people in this room's brain don't exist.
So
yeah, I wonder who you can be speaking of.
So yeah, that's my
on Twitter. You don't know.
I just thought it was an interesting one.
Anyway.
Yeah, very. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, Esty has just something that she wants to pick that it's me, and it's not going to work.
That's not you at all. You feel you're dead. You're like the least dead person we know.
Exactly. Nobody's dead till they're dead.
There's only one thing.
And
some people have problems.
You don't believe they're dead.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, I want to tell you another story just for that.
No.
There was a guy. You're gonna love this, Neil. You're gonna love this. Oh, I was reading this. It freaks me out very much.
He believes when you're in a coffin, you're still alive.
You are till they put you in the ground.
Oh, until they in the ground, then you're dead.
So let me tell you.
What about when they?
So there's a guy. Listen to this. There's a guy in South Florida. Hello, there's a South Florida man.
They never die.
There's a South Florida man is suing a hospital that amputated his leg, and then they threw the leg in the trash. John Timoshev, right leg somehow ended up in the garbage instead of being incinerated as is common practice. Anyways, this guy and his family was then contacted by homicide detectives who found the limb and feared foul play. He claims he was emotionally traumatized, having to explain what happened. So even though the police thought he was dead, he wasn't dead.
That's so funny.
He should sue and get
Money
get
from
tons of
someone.
money. For
That's
it.
stupid. Everything is sue.
Right.
You know, I was sitting at the Schwitz the other day.
Remember,
some
you
guy
have friends
broke his-
that are lawyers, okay?
Yeah,
So
too many,
just-
too many.
Right. All
Right.
chasing that ambulance.
All chasing
Or the cop
gambling.
car. Today they chased the cop
Cop
car.
car, yeah.
Listen, I know we're going backwards a little bit, but
Let's go back.
There's one topic that we still didn't really
Touch upon.
cover. I mean, we touched upon it, but there's some major aspect of it that we didn't really touch upon.
Touch me.
I'm very curious.
Song.
Oh, good song. Singer.
By curious.
I'm
By the
very-
way,
I'm
Esther,
very
show your
curious.
picture to the camera because this is
It's
going
not
on
finished
sale
yet,
for
but
$30 today.
nice.
What? Her picture? Oh, $30.
Yeah,
Okay.
$30 to go to Masbia. Go ahead.
But you know what? I want to get picture frames. You're right. I should picture frame and make it look legit.
Look legit. Go ahead.
Okay, so back to this whole Baltimore thing. Yes, we're going to talk about it again because it's a major story.
Oh, God.
So as many
Back
of
to
you
the
probably
Baltimore.
know, so the prosecutor over there, Mosby, right? What's her name? Marilyn Mosby, right?
The new
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
35 years old.
basically, they found the cops, not guilty, but they were able to convict them very quickly.
Indict
It took.
them, yeah.
I'm sorry, indict. Exactly, that was the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But they'll be not convict. Right, I'm saying they'll be basically accused of these crimes. It was within a couple days, which is
And they won't have the proof.
ridiculously
Nina, and
quick.
they're going to end up losing.
What do people think about the actual charges against them? Because they're pretty heavy charges. I've been doing a lot of reading about, from a lot of legal experts, and most people think that she actually screwed it up even worse by throwing all these charges against the wall and seeing what sticks, instead of actually trying to put together a coherent case for maybe a couple smaller charges. But she threw all the big stuff because she has a lot of political ties. Her husband, you heard
Is
about
a
this whole story?
councilman.
Exactly. Her husband is a
Right.
councilman. He's going to be running again. He needs the support of the black community.
Right.
And magically, this guy's wife
Really,
puts together
listen,
in a
you
week.
can't blame
In a week.
her.
Of course, no,
Come
I don't
on,
blame her. I'm
you
just
know.
saying it really stinks. And
I know,
and
but
again,
the mayor is nice.
yeah, 100%.
She's got a head.
I don't think this Mosby DA, I don't think she's a bad person either. I just think that if you actually did any research at all, the charges ain't going to stick. And there's 6 people. 6 people cannot be responsible for the person's death because there's a thing called, I forgot the word for it, but basically neither of them was involved. None of them were involved fully. All of them have like a chain of responsibility where each of them may have contributed in some way, but none of them, who does the blame fall on for his actual death? Was it the officer that arrested him? Was it the officer that didn't stop the first time? Was it the one that stopped the second time? The one that didn't? Who actually was responsible for his death? There's not enough proof and there's not enough evidence to prove it on any one person. You certainly can't split it up amongst 6 people. So what's going to actually happen when, inevitably, it seems like, from what most legal analysts are saying, that these officers are probably found not guilty? What's going to happen?
Well,
I mean, what do we think of her charges? I think, honestly, that they're second-degree murder. Do you understand what a heavy charge? Second-degree murder implies that the guy literally...
It was premeditated.
Yeah, that's what I'm
means?
saying, that they literally killed him.
No, that they'll never get because
It's
cops,
unbelievable.
The rule
Yeah.
is cops do not wake up in the morning saying,
Yeah.
"Today I'm going to kill."
Exactly.
someone."
And the irony
So
is,
it's
the
not
only one that
premeditated.
was accused with the second degree, the strongest charge, was actually black himself.
Well, you know.
So the
how it
whole
works.
racial
Somebody's
thing,
gotta take the
it's
fall.
ridiculous. But in all
Somebody's
seriousness,
gotta
so
take the
I'm
fall.
curious if anybody out there, what do they
What does
think?
Jeffries think
what-
of it?
what do they
What
think-
is Jeffries?
what does anyone out
Jeffries,
there think?
Jeffries.
Yeah, get him on the phone. You're so hot. He's so hot.
6
with us.
people
Get him
can't
on
be
the
responsible for this person's death.
phone. Tell him we want to hear from him.
And did you hear how they're saying the charge works? That because he was arrested falsely, any death that suffered from that further because of the false arrest should also be pinned on them, which is ridiculous. How is that? That's a murder.
Why shouldn't? No,
Apparently,
they-
again, I don't know.
Again, if he-
Apparently, he was arrested
For no
for no
reason.
reason. Okay, granted. So let's say he would have gotten thrown in jail, and then he would have gotten stabbed that night by an inmate. So the person who arrested him falsely gets accused of murder for a false arrest. That's how it works.
something. They should get
That's ridiculous.
something.
They should get something. But to say they're
They
responsible for the
can't
death
slide. I
of a
don't
human
like this
being.
crap of
Yeah,
the blue
I
wall
don't get
slide.
it. I don't get it.
You know, they get away with a lot of crap. They make up bull stories. Every single one
It's
of
the
them
blue
is a
wall of
liar.
silence.
And if you get him on tape, if
I-
you see any accident
I
or
hate-
any story on video,
Yeah.
all of a sudden that story
yeah,
changes on a
exactly.
dime.
I
They
can't.
really lie. That's what they're
I
taught
can't
in the
stress
academy.
how much it sucks that I have to say this, but thank God that 3 of the officers were black. because there would have been much higher level of chaos. It would have been a whole song and dance about the police.
Well, Heshy's bored. Heshy's bored. Let's go to something else.
Heshy's not bored. I'm going to let you keep talking about this.
But she messed it up. And now, because of her giving them crazy charges that probably aren't going to stick in a jury and probably aren't going to stick when they actually have to produce enough evidence and proof, they're probably going to get away with it, and it's going to lead to even more problems. So it's a very short-sighted solution. It calmed everyone down. A week later, fantastic, because she threw 100 charges at the wall and hoping that one of them sticks. That's a very crappy way to be a district attorney. And you build the case, it takes longer than a week.
The truth is, the way they should have done it was locking up all those rioters that were really doing bad things and not just marching. And that would have shut the crap down also. Now, that's it. They should have gone out there, arrested the 500 thugs that were doing what they were doing. That was no good. Throw them in jail and let the others march and protest the way they were.
Exactly.
Look at that wonderful mother that beat the crap out of her son.
I heard she was going to get investigated by child services.
No, that was just a rumor. Everybody knows she did the right thing.
Exactly.
And she did the right thing. She should be a community leader.
Yes.
Wait, but tell me the story. I didn't hear it.
Really? All right, whatever. It's done.
Anyways.
But hold on. So how is it that every other case, it usually takes the DA, anyone that knows the legal system, it takes forever to build a case that strong when you're accusing someone of murder to actually put them on the stand?
No.
Yeah. It takes a lot longer than 10 days.
You go to a grand jury and
a month or two,
10 days? That's absurd.
The
and I'm telling you,
against the guy who was killed in Staten Island, right away after 5-6 days, they dismissed the charges after the investigation.
That happened months before.
They had a video of that, and that was rigged because that guy was black. So they didn't
and that's
care.
exactly what's happening here.
And they didn't
They
care.
got an accelerated verdict from the DA because she wanted to appease everybody because they burned down buildings, and because her husband, wants to run for re-election, and she'll be the great big hero that protected this innocent
that cop that was
convict who was
driving
arrested
the wrong
20
way
times
with the DWI a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Please, people
they
sit
get
on
away
trial
with
for
murder. These cops, they really do.
And she's gonna mess it up. I'm telling you, that's the worst part.
And we live.
I want to see them. If they were responsible for this guy's death, I want to see them responsible.
So anyways, Esty, while we're correcting, we're listening to the Just Enough.
Wait, what about those?
Add something. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are simple. My thoughts.
What about those people who, by mistake, run over like a boy or something because he's not looking where he's going? He's just driving a bike, and you could get arrested for that and be prosecuted for murder. Yeah, but how is that fair? Like a kid runs out, not his light. And it's possible sometimes they're in your blind spot. It is possible, and your life is gone because you made a mistake.
It's not your life is gone. That's the whole point. They have to bring proof that you're responsible for it.
The grand jury, the stupid prosecutors, they just say
to lock somebody up away for murder. You have to have a crap load of proof before somebody's going away for murder.
I don't know. There are a lot of people that got locked up and they shouldn't have.
You're gonna see this guy who killed the cop now. Even though we all know he's guilty,
hold on a second.
Not one drop of evidence they're going to put
all
away.
These people that are exonerated for crimes that they're sitting in jail for 20 years. This was all exactly the point. It's all from 10, 20 years ago before the technology and the DNA testing was around. That's where all these mistakes are.
1988 already with O.J. Simpson, 90 trials.
Yes.
If you know the right people,
exactly.
If you know the right people, you can have a lot of crap.
I'm not saying that's not true. I'm saying if you run over somebody and
how many people did Mark Rich have killed?
Zero.
Bullshit.
Zero. That's not his
business.
It.
It's not his business.
He was a buyer and seller. Never sold arms in his life, he said. Never sold arms.
Really?
Sure, I believe him. Why not?
Yeah, but
whatever he did was public.
He didn't have enough money.
But you knew he passed around girls and drugs like it was water.
He passed around?
Yeah, right.
He got them.
God bless him. That's illegal?
Man, he didn't. He got people to do it for him.
That's illegal?
What, it's illegal for me to go bring in 20 curvers?
Well,
not curvers, because curvers are good people. Whatever.
Wow, Neil, I finally told you right.
I'm talking about bad people.
Anyways, Neil.
We
have now gotten the phone number. We've got the phone number now for Mr. Clean, who is Brooklyn's premier dry cleaning pickup and delivery service, offering world-class service along with absolute best pricing in the industry. Pickup and delivery is always with no minimum. And mention the Just Enough Heshy show. You get 25%
don't say no minimum to the people
and
listening
his
to the show.
phone number is 347.
Can you pick it up?
3, 4.
He'll get 20 calls like that.
Okay.
And 25% off. So he'll come pick up
Yeah,
your
I'm gonna
shirt
tell you,
for
3
My
80 cents.
husband uses the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
shirt
yeah,
every
yeah.
Shabbos for 4 weeks, and then we clean it.
347-369-3051.
Why do you make fun of the Jews like that? I don't understand.
I
You're
know.
not part of them.
347
Unfortunately, we are.
369-3051. And most importantly, you can get him on Mr. Delivers at Mr. Clean Delivers at gmail.com. And I want you to know something. You know,
How
I was
long until
driving
Mr.
down the
Clean
block.
sues
There's
him?
a lot of cleaners, like on every other block. There's a cleaner
There's
today.
a lot of people
But
also.
the truth, it's a very, very regulated business
Is it?
these days.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of
Because
scandal in the dry cleaning
chemicals-
industry.
The chemicals have
Oh,
to
yeah.
be.
Not
There's
tilling.
a new
not
kind of
killing people.
chemical, and it has to be enclosed the machines, and it has to have vents and this and that filters.
Yeah, they get a lot of
HEPA
tickets, I'm
filters
sure.
all around.
Oh,
it and
HEPA
shit.
filters. Wow, very good.
Well, here's the thing.
Very crazy.
Guess
very
what?
Crazy.
Most of these little dry cleaners that you see,
don't have.
they don't
machines.
have the premise. They
Right.
don't have the machines on the
Correct.
premises. They just take your stuff and they send it to
Correct.
the big
Let's
guys.
hope
I
they're
happen to
reported.
use
Everyone
somebody
thinks
else.
my
but,
cleaner's the best. Blah, blah. They
a
all go to the
wholesaler.
same place.
Oh, please, you talk to, I always tell him this. You go to your synagogue there,
Yeah.
and you sit at the back table there at the bench, and each guy will tell you how, my cardiologist, he had the best. I got from my father, the best cardiologist out there. Yeah, he's from Elmhurst Hospital.
I am the best
I
lawyer.
the best cardiologist. Yeah, he's from my mind. Yeah. I got the best. Everybody thinks they get the best of everything.
You gotta try
this
a few
world
to
is
know what's the
loony.
best.
It's not loony.
Just loony.
It's a
How
sales.
people
It's a
are
salesman.
No, you fool yourself. That's what you want to hear. You
Eh?
want to hear what you're doing is the best. Whatever it is,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best. Uncle
You ever
Heshy, you're
hear-
the best.
What?
You got the best show.
You ever listen to Seinfeld? He always says.
I hate that you keep bringing up
I love
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
I
What does he
hate
always say?
Seinfeld.
Nobody says, go to my doctor. He's the worst. Somebody's graduating bottom of their classes. Not everybody could be the best. Somebody's got to be the worst. Let's be honest.
Oh, that's a great
and, then,
show.
and then they go, what does he say? He says, tell them that I send you. For what? Oh, you're friends with him. Now we'll give him the real medicine.
Yeah.
I was just giving everybody else Tic Tacs.
So now that we're coming
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
end of the show, you heard about this Boko victim, the Boko Haram victims. You heard about that?
What's going on for years?
No, but now they attacked these Boko Haram terrorists,
Right.
and they
Huh.
got in there and they saved
I
a
heard
lot of women.
civilians got killed from a Saudi Arabian
okay, it doesn't
bombing
make a difference,
also.
but
Yeah.
even as
Doesn't make a
rescuers,
difference. Doesn't
Even-
matter. 50 civilians got doesn't make a
That's not what
difference.
he's talking
If
about. but
Israel
doesn't
would have
make a
killed them,
difference.
then it's a story.
no,
Oh,
but this is the government
barbershop.
saving its own people that were
oh,
kidnapped.
that's great. I know.
The place is a freaking mess.
It's
over
Nigeria.
there. You know what a mess that place is? You should be thankful there are people that can get oil out of there and
Yeah.
make some money out of it.
Thank
the
God.
place is all
The only
donkeys and
only business
and-
happening there.
ugh.
Yeah.
there's nothing
There's
there.
no big skyscrapers or buildings or
Nothing,
nothing. I don't
nothing.
believe that. There has to be cities.
Nothing. There's a palace for one tribe, a palace for the other tribe,
Yeah.
and then there's mud for everyone else.
I don't
Ah.
believe. Really?
Yeah, really.
I see some pictures.
Go
of
Google and get the sky view.
Google Maps, Google View, whatever.
Yeah,
Google
yeah.
Earth.
Google Earth.
Okay, I thought Nigeria would be a cool place.
No, but
No.
did you hear about this? They bombed. Was it America or was it Saudi? Some country they were trying to bomb ISIS and they ended up killing 50 civilians. I think.
I
or
think
something.
it was Saudis.
I think so. And when
in
people
Yemen, right?
exactly. You know what? Does the world even blink?
Not a
Not a
blink.
blink. When Israel does it, then it's a story. Then let me tell you, they're
but
killing
listen,
civilians.
The Saudis are
God
peeing in
forbid.
their pants, man.
They're
They
close.
really are.
They're close over
They're
there.
right near the
Yeah.
border.
not
They're
a joke.
really,
People think it's a bunch of
but the
lunatics running
Saudis,
around with
thank
guns.
God, the
Yeah.
Saudis over the years have spent trillions of dollars on armament.
I mean, we
I'm-
spent trillions of dollars.
No,
On
we
gas.
on oil, so they can
Yeah,
spend
yeah,
it
thank
back
God.
on the military. So it's a wash. So don't think that they made so much money off
Thank
of
God
us.
ISIS doesn't have planes, because then it could get real.
No, they'll hijack the planes. What
I'm
do you
saying
mean?
no, fighter jets. Thank God they don't have
Too
that.
difficult. They make it so difficult at the airport.
But people think ISIS
I
is
know, I
like a
have
bunch
hard
of
time
lunatics
driving
with guns.
these new cars, man. I don't know. You got to push here, open here, this, that. I don't
You
know.
sound like every old person ever.
I
So-
know it's terrible. It's really
quiet.
terrible. You got power windows? Oh, I heard you shouldn't get them because they break.
Yeah, basically.
That's what I'm remembering
Right?
from the 70s.
Right, exactly. What an extra feature. I don't need all that. I don't need all that.
Neil,
Whatever.
can I ask you a question, Neil?
Only if it's about the Lord. I want to talk about the
We're going to talk
Lord.
about the Lord, but I want to ask you. I want to ask a question, a trivia question. For
Oh,
you,
go
which I
ahead.
didn't do it today yet.
But you already
Okay.
give out the answers.
What?
You always give out the answers on Facebook.
I give out the answer, so you should find out what they are. But today nobody got the right answer.
Hold on, we actually have a caller waiting, so let's get to him first. And then
Okay,
we'll get to
take
the
the
trivia.
caller.
So
Go
yeah,
ahead.
this is the Just Enough Heshy show.
He knows. That's
you
why
can
he
call
called.
in
Pick
at
him up. There's 5 minutes left.
718-303-9090. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Did you know you're on the Just Enough Heshy show?
Yeah, I've been listening to you
phew.
for the last couple of months. It's
Thank
great.
God. Thank God.
I just wanted to make two comments. The first one had to do with what happened in Baltimore.
Mm.
There is an unwritten rule in the police.
Yeah, it's a wall of silence.
Well, no, that if you fight back the police, you're going to get roughed up. I have a couple of clients that are COs.
Are you a lawyer? Hold on. Are you a lawyer?
I'm an attorney, yes.
Oh, okay, awesome. So you actually know what you're talking about. Welcome to the show.
And the correctional officers I represent have told me that when the prisoners either fight back or injure another correctional officer,
Oh, they beat the living crap out of him.
they beat the living crap out of them. And that's an unwritten rule. And the same thing goes on with the police. If you have a perp that is resisting arrest, they're going to learn a lesson on the way down to the precinct.
Yeah, and you know why? Because if they didn't do that, then every time the perp decided to act up, they would do what they wanted and there would be no repercussions. So they would just sit there injuring the police all around the clock and they wouldn't do anything back. So they know if you step out of line, you're going to get your skull bashed in, so they behave.
So this prosecutor who charged these 6 police officers,
Mosby.
well, the only one that has any potential exposure here would be the driver of that van, because if the arrest was done based on probable cause,
Right, it wasn't apparently.
well,
That's what they're saying now.
There's a reason to believe that this guy was selling drugs.
Right, yeah, he was arrested 22 times. You think that's a probable cause? He's hanging out in the same
No,
area
they
again.
had no probable cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
All right,
problem.
I'm just saying that's why the
And even the
officers,
knife that he was carrying
yeah.
was legit.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So that's why they're accusing him of murder, because it was
If
improbable cause.
there is probable cause,
Yeah.
if the guy is on probation, then you don't even need probable cause to stop the perp, because he's on probation and you could ask him what he's doing. Okay, and that's basically why those other police officers are probably going to get off.
Right, they are, and that's the thing, because she literally just threw a whole bunch of crazy charges to the wall and hope something would stick, and nothing will, and they'll get away scot-free instead of spending enough time to build a
Okay,
good
guys,
case.
we're coming to the end. What's your other?
Thanks for the call. It's good to have an educated caller.
The other issue is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has been funding terrorism for years. Now it's time that the
the other shoe drops. It's funny, huh?
They're getting their just dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That's
No,
a
they're
very
not
valid
getting the
point.
just dessert because the people
they
are
are.
going
They
to
are
get it, and the
scared.
people that didn't do anything. It's the government that did it, but the people.
I
makes a very good
I
point.
heard they're shipping in more adult diapers into Saudi Arabia than ever before.
Thanks for the call. That was
Thanks
a
for
very
the call.
valid point.
Thanks
I
for
think
the
we have
call.
someone else also.
Okay.
Let's see if we
Yeah.
can grab him in really quick.
That.
Hey, you're
Hello,
on the air.
Steve. You're on the air with
You're
Uncle
terrible.
Heshy.
Yeah, good evening, Uncle Heshy.
Good evening, Steve.
What's up?
First of all, I wanted to just point out that while Neil is the voice of reason, Z is reason in itself.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Thank you. My
Hello, his
ego
head is going to explode from being
It
too
is
big.
gonna
Don't do that.
Yeah, and then by the way, Uncle Heshy, I want to know what twisted point you're taking on.
He
or
was
angle
dropped on his head
on
repeatedly as a child. That's the only explanation for this.
No, on Saudi Arabia. I'm saying maybe they should be beating up people, and you're pro that also. I mean, usually you take the most liberal,
Yeah.
twisted view of everything.
No.
It's pretty ironic, right?
Saudi
Yeah.
Arabian government, like the American government, is corrupt, which you'll hear from my quote. But the people are not guilty. The people of Iran are not guilty because their government's crimes, because billionaires like Mark Rich, who control countries like Sweden or Switzerland, who are able to pay everybody off. They were, Mark Rich was a very good guy.
He was a good guy. He had to make a good living.
Yeah, he learned to make billions of dollars by bribing everybody. I could do the same thing.
Yeah, let's see.
You
Go ahead and do it.
Do
Look
it.
for Switzerland. It's worth it.
Do it. Then
Do
we don't
it.
need we don't
It's
need
not
any
worth it.
advertisers.
It's not worth it.
It's I have 82 nephews and nieces and children and cousins, and I want to be with them. I don't want to be like
You'll
With
him.
that kind of money, you can fly them
You
out.
fly them in first class, each one of them,
Right.
baby.
Okay.
Okay, you little bullshitter.
I-
Yeah, I could do the same thing.
Yeah, come do it. Man was a genius. Him and his partner, they were geniuses in what they did.
Yep.
And fine, they are a little underhanded dealings, but
Yeah.
otherwise,
And all
I feel
their
like that's the only
underhand-
way to get
and
rich
by
in
the
this
And
way,
whatever you don't know, how bad it was.
By
You
the
never
way,
know.
all the underhanded dealings were done by every major oil company in the world,
yeah,
from
they were the only ones
Exxon,
that stupid enough
Shell.
to get caught.
No, they were private and they were Jewish, and Giuliani wanted them to sit in jail. It's simple
Yeah,
as
that's
that.
all.
The other guys all got a fine. That's
Well,
it.
I always hated Giuliani.
Thank you so
Okay.
much for the call.
Thank you
I
for the
really
call.
I
appreciate
hate
it.
him also, but he's
Have a good
a
night.
good
You too.
administrator.
Everybody, thank you for listening to our show. Another great.
And let me give you a great closing, something
Oh.
you can take with
And
you.
the trivia, quick. We gotta
Okay.
get
I
it.
do. No, we're going to lose the trivia, but I want you to know, everybody, thank you for listening to the show. We're going to be back on tomorrow night between 7 and 9 p.m. Please, everybody, go out and vote for my favorite candidate this election, Jeffrey Davis. I want you to go out over there, show that we make a change. Let's start Operation Clean Sweep
Crown
once and for
Heights,
all.
come on
Crown
out,
Heights,
Jeffrey
Bushwick,
Davis.
Jeffrey Davis, let's go out, do something good. Let's show the world this way when it comes time to get rid of our real councilmen and senators from our neighborhood. We'll kick them out and we'll put in the Tishlers or whatever we need to put in and do the right thing. Anyways, everybody, we're coming to the great end of the show. You've been
I
wonderful.
have to give a shout out to my friend Alexandra. She insists, so I'm giving her a shout out.
Alexander was shouting out to you.
All
Listen
right.
to me. I want you to hear this one. You're going to love this quote, Neil. Ready?
Make it really quick.
And
man.
this is for Neil.
20 seconds.
Patriotism.
Yeah, he's talking about oh, this is rich.
This guy-
Oh, this is wow.
Patriotism is supporting your fellow countrymen all the time, and your government when it deserves it.
Oh,
Okay.
Wow.
Who decides
God
that?
bless you for such a great thought.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for
I mean-
listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. I hope you had fun. Tune in again tomorrow night, and we'll have some more
I
crazy
had
ideas
fun.
for you. I had fun.
Who cares?